uninterrupted views and natural ventilation combined with protection from insects, you want Phantom Screens. Our custom-made retractable door screens can be colour-matched to your existing decor and span up to 7 metres wide. And they disappear out of sight when not in use. A screen that's there 1 minute, gone the next. From the hills to the coast and everywhere in between, let the fresh air in with Phantom Screens. Get inspired online at phantomscreens.com.au.
Series Music is making history with Adelaide's biggest ever music sale. Well over $1 million worth of gear has been priced to clear. Get up to 60% off drums, up to 30% off electric guitars, bass guitars, amps and accessories, with discounts on keyboards, brass and woodwind PA systems and more. Series Music is so serious about clearing the entire store, with over $1 million worth of gear priced to clear. In store only right now. This is a once-only opportunity. Series Music, 41 McGill Road, Stepney.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A possible shower this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 17. With the 4 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The Cremorne Hotel, the pub that won Top Gong for Best Overall Metropolitan Hotel in Australia 2023.
A major development today in the Charlie Stevens case. Dhiren Randhawa pleading guilty in the Adelaide Magistrates Court to killing the 18-year-old by careless driving, not dangerous driving, which carries a much larger penalty. Randhawa faces a maximum 12-month prison term. The Police Commissioner's son died in a hit-run during schoolies last year. The Budget Week announcements keep coming. Premier Peter Malinauskas says financial hurdles for new homeowners will be overhauled.
The only serious way that you address a housing crisis is to increase housing supply. So we're going to abolish a tax that holds back the building of more supply by getting rid of stamp duty for new builds for first home buyers altogether.
The state budget will be handed down on Thursday. The future of 7 precious cargo childcare centres across Adelaide is uncertain. The business has been placed in administration but will continue to trade while a buyer is sought. Administrators have written to parents saying no staff have been laid off and for now it's business as usual. And a Woodville gym has closed abruptly despite still selling memberships days before it shut. New Life Fitness, a 24-hour gym on Port Road, was placed in liquidation last night and says it's unable to provide refunds to members. The federal opposition says there are still unanswered questions over a plan to let migrants join Australia's Defence Force. From next month, New Zealanders who've had permanent residency for a year will be allowed into the military. That'll extend to people from other friendly nations at the start of 2025. But Liberal leader Peter Dutton says the policy is still unclear.
We don't know the detail and it's going to be passed by way of regulation. We know from the Director General of ASIO that we operate in an environment where there is an incredibly high level of foreign interference. That's the case in Five Eyes countries more generally.
Seatbelt signs could stay on for longer and be more frequent during flights after a number of recent incidents involving turbulence. Emirates is considering making the devices mandatory for the entire journey. But the Flight Attendants Association's Terry O'Toole says that's a step too far.
Obviously, there's been a couple of really serious turbulent events, and obviously in one of them there was a life lost. So I think we have to, the airlines have to make changes, but I honestly think that leaving it on all the flight actually diminishes the need for when it is seriously needed.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
For top brand, tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Paynham Road, Stepney.
There'll be a new face lining up for the Crows on Thursday night. Billy Dowling will make his AFL debut against Richmond. Well, Matilda's coach Tony Gustafsson has locked in his 18-player squad for the Paris Olympics. Adelaide's Charlie Grant has missed out, but she will travel with the team as a reserve. Isaias and Harvey Lopez have signed contract extensions with Adelaide United. Alex de Minaur has reached the quarterfinals of a major for just the second time, reaching the final 8 at the French Open. And Cameron Green says he's ready to plug any holes as Australia prepares for its first game of the T20 World Cup. The Aussies face Oman in the first of 4 group games on Thursday. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help the Jodie Lee Foundation fight bowel cancer. Round up your purchases in June at Star Discount Chemists.
G'day there, at Felixstowe. Got a crash with a car on its side there. Paynham Road near OG Road. Debris on the road from Nellie to smash at Semaphore Park today. Bower Road near Bartley Terrace. And got urgent electrical works in a couple of spots, including Coromandel Valley, Main Road near Winds Road, and also at Parkside, Glen Osmond Road near Main Street. Cameras today, Athol Street, Athol Park, and Beaverich Road at Ingle Farm. Get 40% off all Pirelli tyres at My Car's end of financial year sale. Save on tyres, spend on you. Tomorrow only. T's and C's apply. My Car, Tyre and Auto, people first. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A possible shower this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 17, the same on Thursday, 17 again on Friday. Right now it's 13. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, a big Adelaide childcare chain plunged into voluntary administration. Petrol prices soar only days from a holiday long weekend. The end of P&O in Australia. The popular cruise brand is being scrapped, what it means for customers. And new cost of living bill buster, how to lock in a discount on every one of your household bills. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show.
Get around the little bar!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Pick the beauty!
Good afternoon on this overcast Tuesday afternoon. It's 7 minutes after 4 today, and we barreled on yesterday, Timmy, with a soldier down, but we're back to full strength this afternoon. So it's a good afternoon to you, Timmy G, and welcome back most warmly to you, Rowey.
Thank you, Sammy. Do I have to? Yeah, good to be back after about a gastro from the Crows' loss. It wasn't that I had to look after my grandson all weekend because my daughter and son-in-law was sick.
They had it as well.
Well, he goes to daycare. So Jodie's got it today. It. Went like Saxon salts. It wasn't good. But I'm wondering whether that was as bad as the Crows lost. Now, in Timmy, good afternoon.
Yes, hello, Stephen.
Thank you, Campo, for holding the fort. We've got him on after 5.
You do.
I heard he was very, very good. So don't have any more bouts of gastro, Stephen, because I heard the Port fans come in on the show on the back off. Now, in line of fairness, and I would think fair play, Timmy, I played the Carlton theme song. And I did a bit too much on the Friday after that last quarter effort from Port, and Port fans went at me. And I reckon a small squirt of the Hawthorn theme song now, I think it's warranted. Now, keep it going, listen to it. There was a lady. Don't, Timmy. Now, if you're on the 5AA Foodland, at least I didn't sing the song.
I didn't sing it?
You got your arms up and...
I was sort of dancing a bit.
You
pretty
did.
catchy.
You did. But in line of fairness, I think I have to... Because I did say on the Friday that Hawthorn were a nothing team. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Did you play that yesterday?
Yeah, we sort of
I said.
I tried to warn you, and you didn't hear the warning.
And here's lesson number 1 for me. Listen to your captain.
Yeah.
I need to start. I didn't listen to Macra a lot. I sort of roll that way, and it's got me nowhere, to be quite frank.
Because I know. A few of your managers as well.
But if they're a nothing team, what are we then?
Yes, well, that was the disappointment. It was the first half was the most shocking thing, and that's when you go. And we've all experienced it at our footy clubs where you go, how could you turn up like that? I think Melbourne fans would be thinking the same thing. Going,
I've played in games like that,
and then you go, what the blazing glories? But everything was sort of set up to go, okay, this is a must win, and I thought I could hear the tension in Nixie's voice during the week, couldn't you? Going, we know this is a must win. But to deliver that in the first half could not have been more disappointing.
Well, hence I've got gastro.
Correct.
Still got a guts, eh? I haven't got over it. That 24-hour rule can get stuffed, Timmy.
Well, for gastro, no.
Well,
might be too
here's Tex on Triple M this morning on the review.
Where do I start? It's probably every area. They beat us up in contested ball, and defensively they were better than us, and they moved the ball too easily. They had, I think, 11 or 12 shots in the first quarter, and we probably put it down to our pure mindset wasn't ready to go, and we weren't up for the fight in the first quarter, which is probably hard to hear as a Crows supporter.
It is hard to hear, but this is harder to hear. Matt Crouch out, season done. Tex just there, he's a 50-50 with his back, but that's going to be ongoing. Dawson's got turf toe. That's not good, Timmy. turf toe. Rankin already out, and Riley Thilthorpe, well, he's sculpting that ginger beard of his and his body. He's in the gym. He's still 3 or 4. Well, I've just said, look, he's still 3 or 4 weeks away. They're arguably 5 of the Crows' best 5 players. That's not ideal.
It's your top end. There's no doubt about that.
That is not ideal.
It is a real concern. And the turf toe one, as soon as I hear it, it always sounds funny, doesn't it? Turf toe. You think, what's that? You know, my understanding is it's the joint is inflamed, and it's really hard to get it not to be inflamed.
It's a bit like having gout.
And a long time ago, I remember the big Aaron Sandlands had it at Fremantle. Now, I spoke to Sam Pryor, and he said, did he have it? And I said, yeah, look him up. And anyway, he missed 10 weeks with it. 10 weeks. Now, to be fair, his big toe's as big as my foot. So that's understandable. It's a very big joint. Because he had like size 18 or 19 boots or something ridiculous. So he was massive. But yeah, it's a serious injury.
It's a big one.
Yeah, it really is. So he's been playing with it by the sounds of it.
You'll have to nurse that. They got the bye, not this week. Next week they play Sydney the week after that. Just a quick unique home style food text, because I love our listeners. I did miss them yesterday, and I knew I'd get a pile on.
There was a couple of good ones.
Wow, fastest recovery from myxomatosis ever. Welcome back, Joe. You know what Mexi is, don't you?
I do.
It's called 1080. It killed all the rabbits.
Correct, and they said you were talking about the bunnies all week.
That's exactly why.
So, there it is.
Joe, can we give Joe a prize? That is funny.
Joe's been,
Mexi.
Well, Joe was the one that suggested playing the Hawthorn.
That's exactly right.
So,
she'd be prolific.
Well, Joe, I've got 1080, mate. Brodie Smith was asked, is their season over thanks to Channel 10?
So if you take the weekend out of it, there's been a good month of footy there, but in terms of the rest of the season, as long as we're a mathematical chance, we'll give ourselves every opportunity to stay in the hunt.
Mathematical chance. B. Smith, love you, mate.
Ask
me, just ask me that, ask me that question.
Okay, so how are you feeling after 12 rounds?
No, ask me, is the season over?
Is the season over?
Of course it's over.
Gee whiz, that
Did
was
we rehearse that out there? Ask me. They're 10 points outside the 8. Suns are on 28 points. Melbourne are 10th on 28 points. You're going to need 13, 14 wins, I think. Certainly more than 12.
Because the comp's eaten itself up a little bit.
Yeah, look, it is eating itself. And that was why it was so important and why I've still got gastro. And too many injuries now.
A lot of injuries.
And that second half draw, I know we've got a lot of games at home, but I'm just, oh, God,
You're flat.
Well, it's
you look
over.
Flat. It's over, you reckon?
But while there's life, Brodie, I will keep,
you know. Yeah.
We need to do that for ratings.
You really have not taken that 24-hour rule on, have you? You're more of the week.
But you know what? Nah, move on. Hey, on a positive note, young Samford midfielder Billy Dowling will debut, likely as a high half forward like Pedler and Schomburg. Thoroughly deserves an opportunity. Good size, good mover. I've loved his form in the Samford. Good last week. Clever player, works both ways. Actually, his dad and mum own and operate Dutton Motors.
Yeah, that's right.
Which are really good sponsors of ours. So that's number one, is why I'm going to love him.
Well done to Jack and Julia.
But that's exactly right. Dowling. But he's wearing my son's old number and my old number.
31.
So I now have a new favourite playing in the Crows team. His name's Billy Dowling. He was picked 43 in 2022. I wish him well. I just hope they play him where he's been playing in the Samford, where he knows how to play.
Yeah, and I think that's what will happen. I think there's an opportunity to do that. Matt Crouch being out for the rest of the season, so there's an opportunity to throw him straight into what you call the deep end, but it's what's familiar. I think that's the best thing about that.
Yeah, okay. Another text has come through, unique home-style food text. Please don't make it another Crow show. Well, no name, I'm back. The other thing is Port have a bye, okay? Port have a bye. They're on holidays. No one's talking. There's nothing to talk about here, and you lost the last quarter against Carlton.
No.
Oh, sorry, Timmy. Sorry, Timmy.
I'll squirt it.
Squirt it again.
Will you? Oh!
Keep that up.
Yeah, you can do one better. Yeah, fair call. Well, Crows do take on Richmond this Thursday. Team selection tomorrow. Have a listen to Josh Rochelle on 9.
There's so many guys who've had that in their career, so it's something you just got to do and play at the level and play at an AFL intensity, especially if we're a bit low on form. So I think that goes through every player's mind, especially when we're not playing well, we're not winning games. We didn't get a lot of inside 50s on the weekend, and I didn't play a lot of midfield again. So yeah, playing mainly up the ground. And it's something that I probably don't really know what's going on too. So it's something I'll sit with the coaches and ask questions today about even how can I help inject myself in the game when I'm not getting too much of the ball.
Well, Not enough inside 50s. Not sure how I'm going with it. Look, he's too talented to drop. There's too many players out for him to drop, but he's on that cusp. He needs to change the way he plays. He needs to do what he can do for the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not anyone else's fault, Joshy boy. This is on you. You're an AFL player, and you're far too talented to be playing the brand of footy you're playing now. It's got nothing to do with inside 50s, I don't think. It's got nothing to do with your role. You're better than that. Yeah. We need to see the best.
When you're young and he's still 20, I think
he's just
you've got to.
He's going to be a terrific
player. You can have
player.
these moments, and what you've really got to boil down to is how do I prepare myself best?
Yeah.
What am I doing when I'm playing my best footy? Yeah. And really work on your mental preparation to get that right. Because you can't get any fitter now. You've done pre-season.
That's exactly
You
right.
have to get your head right, and that's the main thing.
He'll be right. Settle him down, give him clear direction, and the rest is up to you, young Josh. When's you on Brekkie, 5AA? Is that Thursdays?
Later this week.
Later this week.
Yeah, might not
Okay.
because of the game.
Porter on their mid-year break, sit fourth, 8 wins, 4 losses. Healthy percentage too. How have you seen the season to date, Timmy? Are you giving them a thumbs up?
Yeah, look.
Or a thumbs down?
The 8 and 4, and you look at the rest of the competition, you look at some other clubs that perhaps are sitting on 6 wins and 7 wins and the like. People like Collingwood, Melbourne,
exactly
this sort of thing, and you go, well, we're in a better position than they are. But I look at it like this. You always want to be in control of your own destiny. Now, 8 and 4 sounds and looks okay, but it's got red flags on it. And I'll tell you what the red flags are. It's the continued key performance indicator of contested possession and scores against from stoppage.
Yep.
Those two things hang like a black cloud over our head until we can find a solution that I don't see visible yet.
Okay.
So every time we've been beaten,
same way.
It's been basically the same way by clubs who lift the intensity, and we're not able to lift the intensity at the same time. So if we go again, 8-4, we'll end up with a 16, 17 win season, which puts you in a terrific position. But unless those two things improve under pressure, we'll finish like we did last year.
Yeah, and you have every right to feel like that. I think most Port fans would. And I know the coaches are the same and the players. There's no good getting to the finals if your game doesn't stand up. There's no good getting to the finals with all these wins home and away. If it
So
doesn't
visibly,
stand
I
up.
haven't seen a change in that since last year. So I'm going, okay, so how is it going to change?
Okay,
Come
it's fair call.
If we earn ourselves, and I think we'll earn ourselves enough wins to be competing in finals for a crack at it. How are we changing to go up that gear to go the next step?
Okay,
because
maybe it won't change till you get there again.
Well, then I'd like to know how though.
Okay.
So for me,
and how's the body of work, isn't it?
I personally said before the game, if we're to win, you asked me, how are you going to win? I said, Ollie Wines, quells Cripps, and Drew takes on Walsh.
Yeah.
Who were the two blokes ripped us apart?
In the last quarter.
End of story. I don't see us being able to react quick enough to be able to stop that. We've got to stop it.
Well, you've got 10 games to do so. Here's Trevor Spoke on the PAFC website.
Yeah, look, I think we've had a pretty good start to the season for sure. Obviously, a few little speed bumps along the way, a few little injury concerns, but I think right now we're pleased with the way we're playing our footy. Certainly got so much more to improve on, and going to the bye in a pretty good position. So looking forward to the break. We refresh and we go again, but we continue to get better.
Yeah, well done. Have your say there as well. 82230000. Overnight, Matildas won 2-0 over China. They looked like they'd checked out a bit, China. They weren't the same team as here.
They were very, what would you say, they're very intense here. I felt like it was a different game altogether.
It was a different game,
but the thing about it, and I know that we won 2-0 and now we prepare for the Olympics, but sad news for us.
Oh, I'm going to get to that. 52 days until Paris Olympics, so they picked the squad. We're in Group B, we know that. United States, Germany, Zambia. Our first game, as I said, is in 52 days, July the 25th. It's in Marseille.
It's a tough group too.
And our South Aussie gun, Star, has the odd time started in the 11. I know she's only 22. Poor little Charlie Grant got overlooked. She's one of the emergencies.
Interviewed just last week.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I'm shattered for her.
Oh.
But Charlie,
Chin up. Chin up,
You
Charlie.
are an elite athlete. You're a fighter. Strength and adversity, I say, Fortis and Priscilla. You may very well get there, so keep yourself right. But that is disappointing. And the men's soccer World Cup qualifier. I'll say that again. World Cup qualifier. We play Bangladesh, and Bangladesh comes around quick, doesn't it?
Unbelievable.
Seems like yesterday we finished playing them.
It was 22 in Qatar, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Our best finish.
Okay.
Yeah, our best finish, which was on the back of Goody.
Yeah. Well, keep the calls coming in. Keep paying me out. I get that. There's a lot of people saying you sickly individual. I've never known anyone to have more days off. Isn't this the first day I've had off this year?
For a long time at least.
Feels
Feels like it's been a while.
Feels like it's been Sammy, you with me or against me?
And I don't work in HR.
I'd need the stats in front of me. Hey, it's 20 minutes after 4. We love your calls. Get on the phone, 8223 0000. Campo's going to join us after 5. We're going to talk about the umpiring over the weekend. Has it improved? Did it improve? Dean Margetts will join us. Darren Lockyer ahead of Origin Game 1 tomorrow. We'll talk French Open with Roger Rashid. Alex Dimonor through to the quarter-final, which is outstanding. Ned McHenry in studio, and your call's next for that $50 Pals voucher.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Sports Card World, Adelaide's biggest trading card store, is celebrating 30 years in business. All your favourite cards are there: NBA, AFL, Pokemon, and so many more. At Sports Card World, they're collectors too, so they understand your passion. Sports Card World, Region Arcade, City.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Hi, I'm Jo. I'm a registered nurse and I work with St Louis Home Care as a clinical care coordinator.
St Louis was started by my great-grandmother and is one big happy family with lovely staff just like Jo.
The people that work for St Louis are very loving and caring.
Whether it's personal care, preparing meals, shopping, home maintenance or social activities, we help people stay at home for longer.
If you're interested, come and join us.
Google St Louis Home Care today.
You've heard the phrase hands-on, right? That's what Exceed Solar is. A hands-on solar company. The owners are fully qualified electricians and they've been installing solar panels, inverters and batteries all over SA for years. They know it all because they've seen it all firsthand, which makes them more qualified than most to know what's really going to work for you. Exceed Solar, built on knowledge, not a hard sell. Visit exceedsolar.com.au.
Well, nobody knows paints like the Crowies team. It's written in the script because I was a house painter.
Correct.
I was a master painter.
Correct.
I'm a master at a lot of things. And here's the thing I do know about Crowies in the stores, because I've been out there a number of times. They ask all the questions. So you just know that they're going to go, now what are you painting, how are you painting it, where are you doing it, what's the preparation? And you can ask them questions.
Because the end depends on the beginning.
Oh, yes, it does.
It does.
Prior preparation prevents
and painting is one of those examples.
Exactly. Whether it's a door, a wall, a house, a shed, or you're painting timber, metal, tiles, render. Even if you're wallpapering, coating, they've got it all. Whatever you're painting, Crowies can help, and you will love their prices too. Great teams. Remember, Crowies only sell the best. They only sell premium quality paint with the best advice. So visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
There's a new kid on the block at Wayville. Literally. Wayville Hyundai. Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai dealer has landed with the full range at 11 Goodwood Road, Wayville. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Driven by Australian Motors.
You want to shut out the wind and rain in winter, or the sun, flies and mozzies in summer, but you don't want to sacrifice your view. Then you need Phantom Screens. For protection from sun, wind and rain all year round, Phantom's SA-made outdoor motorised blinds can span up to 12 metres wide. They offer effortless automation, a blind that's there 1 minute and gone the next. From the hills to the coast and everywhere in between, choose Phantom Screens. Get inspired online at phantomscreens.com.au.
We know what you get up to in bed. Reading, scrolling, binging and the other stuff. Complete Comfort designs beds you can adjust for every activity. They have active zones you can adjust in seconds to get the right pressure, position and circulation for a more restful sleep. And they look just like your average bed. What you do in bed is up to you, but it's always better to do it with Complete Comfort. Visit completecomfort.com.au or try for yourself at the Wayville showroom.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 5, Rowey's back alongside Timmy G this afternoon. Your call straight after this, 8223 0000. If you'd want that $50 Pals voucher, it can be all yours. First, let's check your roads out there. For Rossdale Homes, the custom home, 2-storey and split-level specialists.
At Felixstowe, got a crash there. Current side, Paynham Road near OG Road. Got some really solid delays outbound at the moment. Semaphore Park, debris on the road following a crash. Bower Road near Bartley Terrace. And urgent electrical works in a couple of spots at the moment. Coromandel Valley, Main Road near Winds Road, and also at Parkside, Glen Osmond Road near Main Streets. Cameras today, Athol Street, Athol Park and Harris Road at Vale Park. Dan Murphy's don't match competitors' advertised prices, they beat them. That's Dan Murphy's lowest liquor price guarantee. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
We'll talk about the umpires after the 4:30 news. Campo after 5. Here's a text. Row, how come you don't tell Crow supporters to back their coach like you tell Port supporters to get behind Hinkley? Question mark. Well, Michael, you know the answer to that. I'm not going to elaborate. Here's another one. Stephen, you'll scrape past Richmond and then you'll be short price premiership favourites in your feeble little mind. That's Bucky at Malala. Bucky, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. We beat Richmond with our outs. I'm playing this Monday. Bucky, shove that in your pipe and smoke it. Hello, Daniel.
Oh, Rowey, why do you do it?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, did you guys catch the Josh Rochelle interview on Channel 9 last night?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we just played a little bit of it, actually.
Oh, did you? I missed it, sorry.
No worries.
So surely there's the massive disconnect between what the players are thinking and what Nix is doing. Like, he's a nice guy, so I understand why nobody has a go at him, but don't you think it's time that we, look at moving on? I know we signed him for 2 years, but I hope there's some performance clause in that contract.
Oh, Daniel, look, I can see how people are starting to think like that. He'd be worried. So too would the recruiting manager. So too would be the list manager. There'd be a lot of people down there wobbly. Certainly if you hear all the rumours about players that are disenchanted. If you missed the Rochelle grab, Daniel, here it is here. Have a listen.
There's so many guys who've had that in their career, so it's something you just got to do and play at the level and play at an AFL intensity, especially if we're a bit low on form. So I think that goes through every player's mind, especially when we're not playing well, we're not winning games. We didn't get a lot of inside 50s on the weekend, and I didn't play a lot of midfield again. So playing mainly up the ground. And it's something that I probably don't really know what's going on too. So it's something I'll sit with the coaches and ask questions today about even how can I help inject myself in the game when I'm not getting too much of the ball.
Well, it's a hard position to play. I mean, Schomburg's doing it now, but he's a midfielder. Pedler's done it. He's in the twos because he's hurt his shoulder, but he's been hung out to dry with it. Rochelle to a degree, but he has a bit more creative licence because he's that sort of player like Rankin who can.
But did you feel like, I know Daniel made the comment that there's a disconnection there. Did you feel like Josh was confused as to what he should be doing or when he should be doing it?
That's how it come across.
Yeah. Now,
I think they've clearly said we're going to give you more midfield minutes, but they're not. That's how what I read into it.
Yeah. I would say that coaches are probably saying, I would have thought that was pretty clear. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So to do that in the media, you're opening yourself up for
always a couple of sides of the story, at least, if not three.
For a couple of crusties, and he might get them. Hello, Carmine.
Oh, g'day, Rowey and Timmy. Just a quick one. No coincidence that both teams, the Power played North Melbourne and the Crows played West Coast, that the following week we're both under pressure straight away from the start. And I'm sort of thinking, I'd rather have a harder game before you start playing some of the, certainly against Carlton. That's what I was worried about going to the game, thinking, we just didn't have, we weren't match fit, so to speak. I don't know what you think about it, but, playing those teams.
I think you always want to play at the highest standard you can. Now, you go through a season, you have to play people who are down the bottom of the table and not playing well. It's about your professionalism then, about how you recover to come back. But, Carmine, I think you're right. I know that leading into finals, you always wanted tougher games going into finals. You didn't want easy games because you wanted to be a bit hardened up, because you can get into a bit of a false sense of security that unfortunately you haven't been under any pressure. And under pressure is where you either lift or you get found.
Done. Another text on the Unique Home Style Food text. Crows missed Will Hayward, signed a 5-year deal with Sydney. Missed Hugh McCluggage, signed a 7-year deal with the Lions, but still in on Elliot Yeo, though. 3 cheers to that. It's from Brian. Did Hayward sign, did he?
Kendall sent one in. There's another
well, I was
one
off
here.
yet. Did Hayward sign?
Got 5 years.
Oh, God.
Swans.
So
and Hugh McCluggage, I thought that was the one that Campo was all in on. Hugh, signed?
Well, he said that's the sort of player you want to get. Did he have a little comment in the meeting?
He did actually earlier this morning. Hear from Hugh McCluggage.
To be honest, it wasn't really something that I entertained seriously. I think I've been pretty open and honest from the start and even from the end of last year that I wanted to hang around here. So, yeah, I didn't take too much notice of them, to be honest.
They were on other offers around the country. Sounds like he was always playing at Melbourne regardless. Brisbane, rather.
I was going to say, yeah.
Here's a funny one. Rowey, being a fisherman, are you a master baiter? Bait fish? That's a good one for TJM.
It's probably not a great one to go with. It's 4:30. Let's
you
get to the
dump that?
headlines.
Timmy.
I hope so.
Dean Margits
Timmy,
is coming
did
up
you dump
next.
that?
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Diran Randhawa has pleaded guilty to the lesser charge of driving without due care regarding the death of Charlie Stevens. It's business as usual for a string of precious cargo childcare centres, despite being placed in administration. Police are investigating a serious crash at Parracombe where a car plunged down an embankment. And in sport, Billy Dowling will make his AFL debut for the Crows this week. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help the Jodie Lee Foundation fight bowel cancer. Round up your purchases in June at Star Discount Chemists.
G'day there. Crash at Payneham to look out for at the moment. Payneham Road near Port Rush Road. Really big delays around there. Super slow at Lonsdale, Dyson Road near O'Sullivan's Beach Road, and getting busy for works at Salisbury Commercial Road near Ponton Street. Cameras today in Lions Road, Holden Hill, and Smart Road at St Agnes. Setting up your four-wheel drive. Petters four-wheel drive products offer a total brakes and suspension solution complete with nationwide warranty. Petters, the four-wheel drive and car experts. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 6 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. Right now it's 13. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Tell you what a good industry to be in, Bill Shorten's speechwriter. The Government Services Minister's own personal speechwriter cost the taxpayers $620,000 over 2 years.
Apparently there's been whole months have gone by where this speechwriter hasn't written any speeches.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
What a job. It's just sort of in case of emergency, break glass, Bill suddenly decides he needs some sparkling oratory.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Need a truck, van, car, ute, hybrid, 12 to 25 seater bus or something else? Budget Car and Truck Rental have you sorted. Plus trolleys, trailers, boxes, furniture covers, tapes, blankets and many other accessories. Whatever the job, Budget is your one-stop shop. With multiple locations across Metro and regional SA, it couldn't be easier. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Get to the good stuff. Call 13 27 27 or visit budget.com.au.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan.
30 years in business and proudly Aussie made. You'll always find the van for you under cover and in the shade. We've got the largest indoor showroom, so come and say g'day. Whether it's a caravan or RV, visit DBC today. And if the rain's coming down sideways, don't let it wreck your plans, because our showroom's undercover at Dave Benson Caravans.
Imagine you have a dog bounding across your garden of lush green turf. He jumps, he rolls, he lays on his back, feet in the air and gives himself a good old scratch. A dog really knows how to appreciate grass. And you can appreciate yours every day when you lay lawn in your garden from the Turf Farm. The Turf Farm plant it, nurture it, harvest it, deliver it. And importantly, they guarantee it. Trust the Turf Farm. Go to theturffarm.com.au.
When I grow up, I want to build houses.
At age 8, Leah has one dream: to build a house for her family. But that dream is slipping out of reach. Leah tries so hard at school, but poverty is holding her back. Without the things she needs for school, Leah is falling behind. Will you give Leah the support she needs to catch up, realise her dream, and build a better tomorrow? Search the Smith family and donate today.
It's what we do every day that makes Bendigo Bank the better big bank. We connect you to a better banking experience. Online, via app, in person, or over the phone. We help you achieve your financial goals. And at the same time, your banking helps local communities thrive. It's one of the many reasons we're voted Australia's most trusted bank, and why it feels so good to bank with us. To find out more, search Bendigo Bank, the better big bank.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, 25 minutes to 5. We're hopping into Coach's Corner after 5 o'clock with Scotty Camporeale. Ned McHenry's going to join us in Studio 2. And right now for Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits, life's better with your pals.
Yeah, big highlight headline today that we got in the media. Sharp rise in holding the ball free kicks after AFL rule tweak. It's gone up some 40%. So 82230000, $50 Powers voucher, best caller. Who thinks the holding the ball tweak, now it's not a rule change, Timmy, is it? It's a tweak.
Interpretation.
Was better. Interpretation. Did the umpires umpire it better? Have you say 82230000? So to set it all up, we got Dean Margetts on, 300 plus AFL umpire, known for his absolute calmness, Timmy G, and composure. We love him, friend of show for Powers. He joins us now. Dean, thanks for your time.
G'day, Robbie. Timmy, great to be part of the 5AA team once again.
Good man. Now, the holding the ball tweak, let's call it a tweak, went up 40% on the season. Just from your observations from that round, is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
It's an interesting answer to that question, Robbie, because what do we want the game to look like? I'm not sure I'm a big fan of a person takes one step, gets tackled, we knock him off for holding the ball. I'm not sure that's what we want the game to look like. Did it speed the game up? Yes. Did you pay some more free kicks? Yes. I think it's a really small sample size to make a full assessment. I'm not completely sold on it just yet. I reckon it's a pretty significant change. And if I asked you two on the phone right now, how would you explain to me reasonable time? How would you answer me?
That's exactly right, Dean, and that's why you have a hard... Will you explain it to us?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I've always used the premise of, allow the player to be balanced and steady to dispose of the ball. If I try and describe it, it's like saying there's a 10-centimetre piece of string and now it's an 8-centimetre piece of string. That's probably how we've changed it. That's the tweak in the interpretation. And I guess the frustration for stakeholders when you watch Friday night and you see 10 or 12 free kicks paid, then the one that we should pay with Nick Dacos takes 3 or 4 steps and we don't pay it. That creates this sort of a bit of hysteria around the rule, and I reckon we just got to probably let it see where it finds its mojo in the next month or so to get a real indication of is it the right thing for the game.
Yeah, big sample size. You know what, Dean, for me, I'm a gut feel man. I don't need the stats. I gave you one 40%. I'll give you another one. 17 holding the balls paid in the Hawks-Crows game. It just felt better.
Yep. No, you're right. And when I looked at a few of those, some looked like they were pretty fair and reasonable. Then there's a couple where the bloke sort of picked it up, been tackled to ground and holding the ball, which I think is too tough. I guess what I'm sort of asking myself is what do we want the game to look like today and what does it look like in 3 or 4 years' time? So I think it's time we get some ex-players, ex-umpires, ex-coaches in the room and go, okay, this is what it looks like today. What do we want to look like in the future? And have some really deep dive discussions on it. This has been a really good shift and the AFL should be commended for, I guess, having the kahunas doing it now versus probably waiting another 12 or 18 weeks for the rest of the season. But like we said before, in a month's time we'll know a bit more. Is it the way we want the game to sort of trend and track for the rest of the season?
One area I thought that it did assist in, Dean, was players are taught to take the tackle. So, if they sort of half sort of saw an option and went, yeah, that's not on, and then they go, well, here they all come, I'll just take the tackle, and then they take the tackle, and
it's a ball up.
And then, well, the danger is they tackle, and then they aren't getting a result, and then they start to throw them into the ground. I felt like it stopped that, and I didn't see it anywhere near as much of the slinging. Again, small sample size. Right, let's see where the watermark ends. But I like that part of it. And
you guys watch a lot of footy. You see it every week. That coaches they coach to stoppage. They coach to slow the ball down. The AFL wanting the speed on the ball. That's why 666 has been brought in. That's why Stan's been brought in. That's why the protected areas have all been brought in. Allow to free the Sharon, so to speak. So you're right. So I think from that point of view, and players and coaches, they adjust so quickly. That's the best thing about our game, guys, is we can make a rule change on Wednesday, and come Thursday night, we've adjusted pretty quickly, haven't we? So that's what I love about our game. The flexibility and I guess the agility, to quote Gil, is really quick, and you can see it. And even for the umpires to adjust on the fly, it needs to be commended, I think, as well.
I totally agree with that, and gee, they do adjust well. How do you feel like, again, you said about that one with the Nick Dacos example, do you feel like 3 umpires, 3 opinions, 4 umpires, 4 opinions? Have we got it right with 4?
Yeah, I'm still not sure on that one, to be fair, Tim. The reality is, and this is what people sometimes forget, we've got 45 umpires on the AFL list, and we've got some champion umpires at the top end, Stevic and Rosebery and Meredith and all those sort of era. But what we forget is we've got guys doing their 5th game and their 6th game and their 12th game. And I always try to paint this picture. Not every draftee is Patrick Cripps in round 1, is he? It's not impossible. So sometimes we just expect the AFL umpires to be these champion umpires.
Straight up.
And there's going to be gaps in performance. And I think when I explain it like that, people go, oh, I never thought about it like that. We like to see ourselves as the 19th club, and we train hard, and we're coached hard, and we're assessed hard, and we're an accountable business. But sometimes our players, our new umpires, are learning the craft. It takes you 56 games to actually feel like you belong and you get it. I know when I started, it took me probably 4 or 5 years to actually feel like I was on the right trajectory. So we need to have some flexibility with some of our umpires as well, I think.
Dean, how would you tweak the rule? How would you write it? What would you like to see?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm a big believer in allowing the ball player a chance to dispose of the ball. We want the players like, Dacos and Cripps and Dainford to get that ball and have a chance to dispose of it. I'm not a big fan of a player picking it up, taking one step, and then being tackled and holding the ball. We don't want to have a game of sweaters where I'm not going to pick it up because if I do, I'm going to be pinged. So I reckon we've just got to find the right balance. In answer to your question, Rowey, I'm not sure of the answer, to be fair, but I'd love to see a bit more of this season to play out. And then post the end of the year, let's review it, let's reflect on it, and then let's carve it up even more if we need to, or let it play out in the NAB Community Series and see where it goes for 2025.
I like that, Dean. I don't want a team of sweaters. I don't either. Don't reward me, who can't play, when I'm tackling Timmy, who won the ball. Spot on, Dino.
Correct.
Hey, as always, thanks for your time.
Oh, before you go, Dean,
hello.
I've got one for you. Just last week there was a report about umpires being talked to in the earpiece. Did that ever happen to you, and was it about decision-making, or was it actually just encouragement?
It's just encouragement and feedback. It's no different to coaches talking to players on the bench. I mean, I know there was times I'd ask the coach, hey, guys, what do you think about that one? Just for my own headspace, for clarity. So, no, coaches don't pipe down during games unless an umpire specifically probably needs some feedback or some clarity or some surety. Occasionally they'll pipe down during breaks as for reinforcement. We're no different to players. We need feedback and we crave it and we want it, but that story that broke, that's not there's no news there. I can assure you of that.
Good. Okay, so it is true though that umpires have voices in their heads.
Don't go. Dean's
on that note, Jen, on that note.
You're our pal, Dean.
Thanks
mate. Well done.
Good on you guys. Great to be part of your program. Thank you.
He is an absolute ripper. When you're after that special drop, trust pals. They'll have it Powerfoot Airport Liquor. Yep, life's better with your pals.
Speaks well, doesn't he?
Oh, he
speaks really well.
Well, there's one straight off the bat. I don't want a team of sweaters.
Yeah. I was all
now, Lee Matthews and those sort of players all say, reward the bloke that wins, the God.
It was one of the oldest rules in the book, but what we got to do is catch the ones that are just doing the old, like I said, just going, I'll take the tackle.
Yeah.
That's the one. And I reckon it's on the improve.
So the standard of umpiring over the weekend, did you notice a difference? We all sort of think, it felt better. 8223 0000.
Yeah, we go Lewiston. G'day, Scott. What do you think?
Yeah, g'day, guys. Just listen to the fella then. I thought the umpiring on the weekend, the holding the ball rule, is how it should have been from round one.
Yeah.
So the thing that really annoys me is to hear the umpires come out now, and he said it in his own words there, a rule change. After 12 rounds, you decide to change the rule, the way the game's umpired. Like, I don't know any other professional sport in the world that flicks around the rules so much during the middle of a season. But in my opinion, the way the game was umpired in the first 12 weeks, the game was going to ruins because what was happening, the guys would basically take possession of the ball, tuck it under their arm. How many times did you see a guy get tackled? And they're actually pinned by the body and one arm. They're holding the ball in one arm, and they just dive on the ground like it's a rugby try and wait for the umpire to call a ball up. So at least last weekend, that alleviated that problem because before people were diving on the ground with the ball in one arm, they thought, geez, I better get rid of it or I'm going to get pinged. Yeah. So it forced people to dispose of the ball. And like the umpire just said, there's no point cleaning up the rules if they miss the bloody bleeding obvious ones like the Dacos one where you just drop the ball on the ground. They have to pay everything. So, yeah, in my opinion, it definitely cleaned it up, but why did they take 12 weeks to muck around with it? And then where does it go from here? So what do they do in 6 weeks' time? They decide to ease off on it again or whatever. No. They should just stay consistent for a whole season and stop bloody tinkering with the rules all the time.
Yeah. Well, let's get it right. It was an interpretation tweak. There was no rule change or anything. They said we're just going to be a bit hotter on prior.
No, what they basically said was you're not interpreting it correctly.
That's
right.
So
we're going to watch examples and we're going to say this is what should be paying.
They went out to the clubs.
Correct.
Showed them a video.
But also the umpires themselves were brought in by the head, Steve McBurney, to say this is what needs to happen. And I'm with Dean Margetts on the ability for players and for umpires to be so flexible and change. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Who's the umpire boss again? Excuse me.
Steve McBurney.
Steve McBurney. I read the memo he sent out, and this has crept in. So because I don't want to tackle you, Timmy, and sling you to the ground, correct. And because players are so much more stronger now, we're told to stand tough in the tackle or tall in the tackle. Don't go to ground. So you're getting a Walsh. You're getting a real strong bloke tackling a really strong bloke, and they're moving around like a dance for about 3 or 4 seconds. Now, the ball either jars free play on.
Or they sling him to the ground.
Now, players don't want to sling him to the ground.
Not anymore.
So now they've got to interpret, how do we change this? So if he doesn't get rid of it, and he had prior, it's holding the ball.
And I felt like
I'm happy
I saw a
with
lot
that.
less of it. I saw a lot less of slinging, and I saw a lot less of. Eventually, they went, right, this is going to be paid against me. Okay,
and it felt better. It just felt better.
Have your say, 8223 0000. We'll take more of your calls straight after the break. First, let's check your traffic out there. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
G'day there, Paynham. Got a nasty crash, Paynham Road near Port Rice Road. Extensive delays in all directions at that intersection. Avoid that if you can. The freeway at Mount Osmond ramp is pretty slow. Speeds at 40 there, and getting busy at Lonsdale, Dyson Road and O'Sullivan's Beach Road. Cameras on the drive home, Main North Road, Jeps Cross and Hanson Road at Wingfield. Dry July starts soon. Go dry this July to raise funds to improve the comfort and care of people affected by cancer. Sign up today at dryjuly.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. The Adelaide Cabaret Festival returns for 2024 at Adelaide Festival Centre, unveiling her debut program as Artistic Director. Award-winning Australian actor, writer and personality Virginia Gay presents the 24th Adelaide Cabaret Festival, showcasing world-class singers and storytellers throughout 79 performances over 12 nights. 7th to the 22nd of June at Adelaide Festival Centre. Book your tickets now. Visit adelaidecabaretfestival.com.au. Proudly supported by 5AA. Always Adelaide.
2 grand prize homes. 2 grand prize winners. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery's 2 grand prizes in Henley Beach are life-changing. 2 fully furnished, mortgage-free Scott Salisbury homes. And both include $100,000. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. That means you can have your cake and eat it too. 2 grand prize homes, 2 grand prize winners. And it's never too early to buy tickets. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14548.
Tap into big savings with Solar Heart Hot Water. Get a $400 trade-in on your old hot water system right now. Then enjoy energy savings for years to come. That's right. For a limited time, all Solar Heart water heaters, including solar, Atmos heat pumps, and Power Store Solar Smart electric systems, come with a $400 trade-in on top of generous government incentives. Stop pouring money down the drain with your old water heater. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Well, we love our state, and the best way to see it is through your windscreen. And do that, you've got to be TJM equipped.
Oh,
end of story.
Don't go out unless you are.
End of story.
It's an absolute waste of time. Now, If you've been waiting for the perfect moment to get your four-wheel drive camping accessories, well, this is going to be it. TJM Clovelly Park, well, they're relocating. So there's too much stuff to move. We don't want to move it.
No.
So everything has to be priced to be cleared. And believe me, they're dead serious about this.
Idolo rang me. He said, Rowey, there are ridiculous deals.
Get in.
He said, well, I've got to get it and move it all the way to Nailsworth.
Right.
He said, mate.
No.
No.
Relocating.
No.
Get in there for a bargain.
Bull bars, canopies, winches, lights. It's all got to go. Some at 50% off. Save thousands.
Woo!
Actually, ask for Italo and say, mate, can I give you a hunch for this?
Yeah, Rowey said.
Oh,
and he said,
hello.
And he said, Rowey.
Hello. Timmy said, get in touch with the team at TJM Clovelly Park and TJM Nailsworth.
That's right. Visit TJM Nailsworth and Clovelly Park for this massive sale. Major sponsors of tonight's fishing show at 6:30 with, you guessed it, Ned McHenry.
Are you ready to take control of your My Aged Care or NDIS funding? At Care Alert, we believe you should be in charge of your safety 24/7. Introducing Care Alert, your ultimate guardian with fall detection and GPS location. You can even speak through the pendant. Wherever you are, we've got you covered. And here's the best part, it could be yours for free. Secure your peace of mind today. Call 1300 75 85 95 or visit carealert.com.au.
Guys, it's starting.
Say a giant thanks to the mate who pays for all the streaming services. Shush! Shout them KFC $6.95 giant snack pack loaded with nuggets, popcorn chicken and chips. KFC $6.95 giant snack pack. It's a great shout.
Not everywhere, not forever, pickup only.
We've all been feeling cost of living pressures. That's why the Australian government is bringing in tax cuts from the 1st of July. They're for the drivers delivering the veggies and the people buying them. For the people working in offices and the tradespeople building them. For nurses saving lives and the teachers shaping them. They're tax cuts for every taxpayer. Visit taxcuts.gov.au to find out how the 1st of July tax cuts will benefit you. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 9 minutes to 5. Campo in Coach's Corner after 5 o'clock very shortly. And 5AA's Best of SA is all about celebrating and profiling the great brands of our state. Today we are celebrating Sports Card World, and for your chance to win an AFL football card box and 2 tickets to our Best of SA dinner coming up on the 14th of June on the Friday night at Adelaide Oval. 8223 0055 is the number to call. Sports Card World, Adelaide's biggest trading card store, is celebrating 30 years in business. You can find them at Region Arcade in the city.
Holding the ball, crackdown. Kim at Tea Tree Gully, what do you think?
Yeah, hi, Rowey. Tim. Just a couple of things. I don't want to see... I realise everything that comes in new is going to take a little bit of adjustment, but I don't want to see a guy ping before he actually grabs hold of the ball. He's got hold of it, or got control of it, and he's grabbed from behind you, holding the ball decision. I don't want to see the likes of Petrarca or Cripps grabbing hold of the ball in the centre bounce and just turning around at a 360 degree, holding it to their chest, waiting for the umpire to ball it up again. And I don't want to see Pendlebury holding a ball to a player that's fallen on the ground. The ball's him holding the ball to the player's chest and being rewarded with a holding the ball decision when he's got hold of the ball.
Yeah, that's crept in.
All of those, Kim, are incorrect interpretations.
They are.
And that's where the umpire should be, absolutely lambasted about that decision making. So all of those examples Kim gave is exactly right. We don't want to see those, and they're incorrect interpretations.
So we see that a lot. The ball's on the ground, you're over it, the opposition player, Pendlebury, drags the ball in on you, puts his hand up for a free kick, so he's actually got the ball, he gets rewarded for it. What if I was your teammate and I tackled Pendlebury?
Yeah. All of that that's a great example of, where they've pulled it in under you, and that's silly. But the Draper example is like, well, you've just deliberately stopped anybody getting it.
That's exactly
so you
right.
are on the ball.
Hello, Ange.
G'day, guys. Are you okay, Rowey? I was really concerned about you yesterday, mate. You okay?
Oh, mate, just had a little gastro from my grandchild. A couple of sneezes in my gob, and next minute, we'll leave it at that.
No, that's all good. There's a lot of sense was said last night. But anyway, that's not what I'm ringing you about. Hey, you know what concerns me, guys, about this new holding the ball rule is that when a player gets pinned, his arm pinned, right? Now, there is no way in the world he's going to be able to get rid of that ball properly, is he?
No.
No.
Well, unless he can get it to boot.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But how many times do you see that when a bloke gets his arm pinned, right, he really can't. Like, he's off balance. And what's going to happen is that and mark my words, in the next 6 to 8 weeks, someone's going to get their hand pinned, then you get holding the ball, and someone's going to fall to the ground, and we're going to have broken arms, guys, because people are going to do it all the time.
Well, they've been doing that for a while, Ange. They've been doing that for a while.
Yeah, I know, but it's going to get worse now, mate, because people are going to think, okay, if I grab his arm, 99% of the time they get holding the ball and they take him to the ground. I think we've been very lucky in the past, guys.
Well, Aaron Norton had his arm broken recently, very similar to that. His arm pinned, taking the ground, broke it.
Johnny boy!
Hi, Ray.
How are you,
Timmy,
son?
Dan. Hey, fellas, well, here back, before I get my main point, very quickly, who back and forth the other day between the Eagles and Norwood, mate?
Norwood?
What about young Jimmy? Come on, mate.
You asked my wife. I am a Norwood man. My son plays for the Eagles. I'm happy that he played well, but I'm a Norwood man, John.
And all the rest of it, like the stud used to say about the boys.
I sit there with my red and blue scarf on and barrack for my team.
Fair enough. You're not exactly father of the year, are you?
No,
but,
I've never claimed that.
Matthew Nick's a nice bloke. Don't get me wrong. He's a terrific bloke. But he's too nice, boys. That's my opinion as a Bull supporter. He's too nice. And to say that he's going to be the next premiership coach, he hasn't even made the finals in 5 years. And you got to enjoy cricket season, Rowey. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Hey, last night, you weren't here.
No.
So
I've heard about that.
We had to get on with life. And we interviewed Lockie Murphy. Now, the slow start, well, the first half was just, not good enough.
Awful.
So I asked the question of him, and I said to him, hey, when that happens and you feel like you haven't rocked up to the game or your intensity isn't there, who do you reckon that responsibility sits with? And this was Lockie's answer.
Well, it's on the individual, the 22, the run out there and the mindset that each individual brings. We have clear focuses going in, and as everyone saw, we were embarrassing, really, to be fair. And yeah, it's tough for us, and we got to find a way to bounce back Thursday.
Good answer.
Good answer. You happy with that? Yeah.
That's a leader's answer.
It was pretty much what I felt. I reckon it's on you.
That's what happened. Of course it is.
To be ready
100.
mentally for the battle.
And we've all been there. God,
absolutely.
I've had some super important games, dished up crap. We've all done it.
Yeah, I distinctly remember going back in my week and going, how much did you actually prepare mentally? Did you do your homework properly?
Yeah.
And thinking, you know what? No, you didn't. Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't.
That's
why you
it's good
performed what you
awareness.
did
Yeah.
and get harder. Also, Campo asked the question, and which is a great insight. I know somebody fed back to me today and said, that was great because I don't know what the inside of the room looks like afterwards. He asked, when you walked in, what was written on the whiteboard? Just have a listen.
Take us into the room and what was on the whiteboard.
Half-time, clearly disappointed, and Nixie was real strong on getting back to the three sort of things that we know we have to do to bring this game back, and it was more the scoreboard sort of, don't worry about that, it's more the mindset that we bring and the thing, and it all starts with the contest. If we're not getting done at the contest in the air or on the ground, we're not giving ourselves the best chance of winning.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's exactly what you want. Back in our day, there'd be a word written on the board, and it might have been something like soft or weak as P55. You can't do that now. No. But, I'm sure you have. Jack. I'm sure he would have written things on there, and you look at it when it's on the whiteboard and it's cutting. It's worse than words because it sits there the whole time. Yeah. The coach walks in front of the whiteboard, backwards and forwards like a caged tiger, and you just see this word soft. Not that would be the word, but I'm just saying. Or weak as beep, or FU or whatever.
You want a response.
You want a response.
Whatever's just happened out there can't
happen
enough.
in the second half. And to their credit, not a consolation, they did lift. Yeah. But the damage is done.
It was.
Damage is done.
2 minutes to 5. We're going to get to the news, and then straight after that, Campo will join us in studio.
Rowey
And Timmy G
on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Quality
Now's the time to call Just Quality Home Improvements and get an unbeatable deal on artificial turf, outdoor blinds, roller shutters, plantation shutters, garage doors, roof restorations and re-roofing, all at up to 45% off and backed with our market-leading warranties, quality service and finance. So when you want quality at an affordable price, book your free assessment now and call Just Quality.
Just dial 1300 813 813. If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan.
30 years in business and proudly Aussie made. You'll always find the van for you under cover and in the shade. We've got the largest indoor showroom, so come and say g'day. Whether it's a caravan or RV, visit DBC today. So clear out the calendar and cancel all your plans, because there's never been a better time to visit Dave Benson Caravans.
Good health is contagious. And at Bupa, we're helping our almost 4 million members live healthier. Join Bupa for award-winning health insurance and feel good health catch on.
Up-to-the-minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Down to 6 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow 18. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The Cremorne Hotel, the pub that won Top Gong for Best Overall Metropolitan Hotel in Australia 2023.
A teenage driver has admitted to causing the crash that killed the police commissioner's 18-year-old son Charlie during school leaves last year. Duran Randhawa fronted the magistrates' court today. Grant Stevens was there.
We've heard Duran plead guilty to aggravated due care causing death and leaving the scene of the collision. This is one step in the process. There are a few more steps to go, so I think it'll be appropriate for us to say more at a later point in time.
The police commissioner said he and his family accept Randhawa's guilty plea and have also been handed a letter of apology. The charge Randhawa pleaded guilty to carries a smaller penalty than the original charge of death by dangerous driving. He now faces a maximum 12-month prison term and 6-month licence disqualification. Randhawa will remain on bail ahead of sentencing submissions in August. The state government has announced major changes to stamp duty concessions and the first homeowners grant. From Thursday, when the budget is handed down, stamp duty will be abolished for all first home buyers who build or buy new homes in SA. Treasurer Stephen Mulligan says it will no longer depend on the value of the property.
What we've seen in the last 12 months since last year's budget is property values continue to increase and building costs haven't eased off either. So rather than incrementally increase it, we wanted to send a message to South Australian first home buyers that they won't have to pay stamp duty and also still be eligible for the $15,000 first homeowner grant.
A Paradise man is in a serious condition in hospital after a crash at Paracombe. His car left Gorge Road mid-morning and went down an embankment. The 60-year-old had to be freed from the wreckage. The cause of the crash is under investigation. Some foreigners will soon be allowed to join Australia's military, but the opposition is criticising the plan as half-baked. Zach De Silva has more.
As Defence grapples with a recruitment crisis, the federal government is planning to expand eligibility to foreigners. From next month, New Zealanders will be allowed to serve in the ADF, while Defence Minister Richard Marles has told Parliament people from the US, UK and Canada can sign up from 2025.
With a view to dealing with the question of the recruitment and retention issues.
But opposition leader Peter Dutton is demanding more detail, warning there could be a risk of espionage if foreigners are allowed into the military.
We operate in an environment where there is an incredibly high level of foreign interference.
The government says strict security checks and other criteria would still apply.
The Israeli military has confirmed the deaths of 4 more hostages who have been held by Hamas since October 7. The IDF says the group was killed following an Israeli operation in southern Gaza, but their bodies are still being held by militants. And the P&O Cruises Australia brand is being retired. It will be swallowed up by parent company Carnival Cruise Line from next March. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
For top brand, tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Payneham Road, Stepney.
Crows fans will see a new face in club colours on Thursday night, but a familiar face may be missing. Billy Dowling will make his AFL debut in the home game against Richmond. Taylor Walker is battling a sore back. Rory Laird says Texas' inclusion this week is uncertain.
He's obviously very sore on the weekend and the last couple of days, and with a short turnaround, give him as much time to let that settle before he does a little bit. So, with the team tomorrow, we'll sort of test him there.
Matilda's coach Tony Gustafsson has taken a gamble on the fitness of Caitlin Ford and Katrina Gorry, naming the injured duo in his side for the Olympics. But Adelaide's Charlie Grant has missed out. She'll travel with the team, though, as a reserve. And contract news out of Hindmarsh today. Isaias and Harvey Lopez have signed extensions with Adelaide United. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help the Jodie Lee Foundation fight bowel cancer. Round up your purchases in June at Star Discount Chemists.
A few collisions to look out for on the drive home. Find one at Paynham Road near Lower Port Rush Road. Really heavy delays in all directions there. Parafield Gardens, a crash. Kings Road to the Salisbury Highway. Another collision at Oaklands Park, Oaklands Road near Morford Road. Busy right now, South Road at Edwardstown with cameras Days Road, Croydon Park, and Harris Road at Vale Park. Where can you find global tastes and local knowledge? Only at the markets. Open Tuesday till Saturday with over 70 traders under one roof. AdelaideCentralMarket.com. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 6 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow 18, partly cloudy on Thursday 18 and Friday 17. Right now it's 13 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, a big Adelaide childcare chain plunged into voluntary administration. Petrol prices soar only days from a holiday long weekend. The end of P&O in Australia. The popular cruise brand is being scrapped, what it means for customers. And new cost of living bill buster, how to lock in a discount on every one of your household bills. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Build a roof over your decking, a roof over your car. Alpha Industries are the best by far. A roof over your barbie, a roof over your beers. Alpha Industries last for donkey's years. A roof over your swimming pool, a roof over your boat. Alpha Industries, ask us for a quote. Build a roof over your grandma or anything you please. Verandas, sheds and carports, Alpha Industries.
Travel beyond ordinary with Tauck and Phil Hoffman Travel. Tauck's award-winning and enriching guided tours, small ship river cruises and family travel take you to all 7 continents. They have authentic experiences on and off the beaten path, exclusive access, insider perspectives, premium hotel stays and local cuisines. Whether you're exploring iconic cities, European waterways or an African safari, Tauck's passion for travel ensures every detail is considered. Phil Hoffman Travel, pht.com.au.
Do you know the signs of elder abuse? It's not always obvious. It may be physical, psychological, sexual, neglect, restriction of social activities or pressure to lend money. It can come from family, friends or carers. Aged Rights Advocacy Service offers a free, confidential, culturally safe support service for older people. There's no excuse for abuse. See it, stop it, prevent it. Visit aris.org.au. That's aras.org.au. ARIS is funded by the Australian Government.
Could you go 31 days without alcohol? Go dry this July and help raise funds for people affected by cancer. It's a small sacrifice to show your support. This is why we Dry July. Sign up today at dryjuly.com.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It's 8 minutes after 5. Still to come on the show. Darren Lockyer to talk Game 1 of State of Origin tomorrow night. We're going to talk French Open with Roger Rashid. Alex Diminor into the quarterfinal, which is fantastic for our Aussie. And Ned McHenry in the studio. And more of your calls as well. 8223 0000. You can have a chat with Scotty Camporeale, who's joined us live.
On the 5AA Sports Show, this is Coach's Corner with Scott Camporeale. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Now, I know you guys have already gone over the Hawthorn game. Campo, you dared me post-match to ask, are we back? Now, I know the answer, but I'm going to answer it a different way.
Righto.
Answer this one. Have the Crows gone back, Woods?
Well, you'd have to say yes.
You have to.
Well, they're
You
14th
have
on the
to.
ladder. The ladder doesn't lie, ultimately, and their numbers don't warrant to say that they've improved. So there's two pretty good KPIs, I would have thought, that if you're asking that question, and for a couple of reasons. I think their contest has dropped away, like the consistency of it. They're certainly not moving the ball as well as what they were able to do in 2023, and the numbers reflect that in terms of score, pure score.
Yep.
You know, and defensively, slightly better defensively. That, you know, if you look at the numbers, they're a goal better defensively. But what have they given up to get that? Would be my question. And then ultimately, you can sit there and you talk about, you know, the players that are out, and that is.
That's mounting.
Yeah, and that's not a necessarily
Rankin,
excuse.
Thilthorpe,
Yeah.
Worrell. Now it's going to be Crouch, Miller. Sloane's retired, and Murray.
They're big outs.
Big outs.
Yeah.
So the weight of numbers is starting to pay.
Yeah, but ultimately, the start of the season, you had all those guys there.
Correct.
So it's only really, you know, the last, you know, month or so that those have sort of started mounting up. So it's an interesting time for the club. Even sitting, you know, there yesterday, and you're hearing supporters, and we're having conversations about what they do now, and 11 games to go. What do they need to get into the eight? All those sort of things. It's an interesting time for the club, and I'm actually really curious, to be honest, is the word, to see how they go about it in the back half of the year.
Well, they've actually announced that they're going to debut young Dowling, so he's coming in.
Yep.
Congratulations to Billy and the family, Jack and Julia, parenting well there. But what do you think about bringing somebody like him in? He's been playing in the midfield. Do you put him straight into the midfield?
He has to.
Given that Matt Crouch is out.
Absolutely.
He has to.
Well, he's played all his sample footy there. He's drafted as a midfielder. I would imagine he's in a good headspace because he's what he's been able to do at sample level. Now, we always talk about the jump when you go up.
Yeah, you said it's
a big jump.
I think potentially, and you know, I'll preface this with a little bit around your conversation about Hawthorn last week. Richmond are not humming, are they?
No.
You know, so, and their midfield's not stacked with, you know, A graders. So
Are they a nothing team as well or not?
Oh, they're worse than that.
Just asking.
So you sit there and go, well, here's an opportunity.
I
I tell you what, I will be disappointed is if they play him as a sub.
No, they won't do that.
Well, I hope not, because I've seen it across the league, and it just, like, when
They
you're
won't
doing
do
your first game, that would annoy the absolute hell out of me. Yeah. But, yeah, no, well done, good. Let's have a look at him and see what he can do, and I think that's what we're all looking for.
And pick and stick.
Yeah.
He's got a body of work. You're in the team. Matt Crouch is out for the rest. He's a good mover, all that sort of stuff. He should be confident about what he can do. You've got to play him in the midfield. If I see him on a half-forward flank like Pedler and a Schomburg, I will spew. I will more than spew up. I mean, honestly, give the kid a chance.
Hey, Rowey, got something exciting.
Oh, what's that?
Campo's picked his team.
Oh.
He's picked the Crows team for this Thursday.
Well, I thought I'd do something different.
Well done.
Instead of doing the numbers and the stats.
Well, I am, because I think the Crows today are on the precipice of the football cliff. So I reckon they've been back to a cliff, and they're just one bad loss from a push away, and they tumble to
Wile E.
obscurity.
Coyote.
Is precipice the word?
Yeah, precipice.
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 Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to make an analogy?
Yes.
This is now. If last week was important, this one's about keeping your fans.
Yeah. So,
give me the
do you
team.
want to go through it now?
Yeah, please.
So, there's a couple of things to this. I've got an eye on where they need to go and have a look at the future.
Getting games into players correct.
And I'm also looking at potentially one or two that might be injured or a little bit underdone, right, as well. So I went Dawson as your third tall forward. He's a little bit banged up. He's got a sore toe. He's a great one-on-one mark. He marks the ball, and he's a beautiful kick. You lose Walker.
Put him forward.
So let's have a look at him forward. Tuggers, happy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tick.
Then you go Fogg, Berry. I'll bring Berry in. I think his pressure, and I think he's shown enough when he's gone in that he is a little bit of a goal kicker, and I'd like to see him play a full game. He's been sub for the last 2 weeks. Let's have a look at him, okay? And what he gives you as well is an opportunity, perhaps if it's not going well through the midfield, he's another option that you don't need to sub in and sub out, and he's the one that can go in there and give you another string to the bow without playing midfield minutes at this point in time.
Okay. So another one we're putting on the half-forward flank to hang out to dry.
No, he's in the forward line. So I'll tell you who. So he's essentially taking Murphy's spot.
Okay.
In that sort of high pressure forward.
Yep.
Right. Then I've gone Rochelle. I'll give him another opportunity. Okay. But attitude. I want effort. I want defensive pressure. I want all those things from a team perspective. Okay. That's what we want to see. I'll go Burgess and Keys as a high half forward that can run up and get back. I think Keys is important, and you need some run up and down the ground.
Yeah.
Then Scholl, Saligo and Jones through your midfield. Okay, and then I've got Brodie Smith as your rotation, as your winger rotation. Okay. So get him
up the ground a bit. Yeah,
get him out of that back half.
Don't mind that.
Okay. Then the half back line is Hinge, Keane, and Curtin. Okay, so you bring Curtin in, and you've got Hinge. So you've got two beautiful left foot kicks that can kick the ball out of your back half.
Yep.
And then Keane, and then leave Nankervis, Butts, and Michaelani in your back six, and you got Borlase as your interchange.
Yep.
Okay. And I bring, so your starting on-ball rotation would be O'Brien, Laird, Schonberg and Saligo.
Like it.
So you got a bit of power, you got some inside mids, and you got
an old head.
And you got correct. You got a little bit of experience, which I don't think you can go out.
No.
And then you've got Dowling, who's your midfield rotation that comes on.
Straight in the midfield. Yep.
And I've also brought Strawn in.
Hallelujah. I'm sitting here and I'm writing down Strawn. Yes.
So I've gone Strawn. So he's your extra tall that comes in. He can play forward. I think he can mark. I think he can do it.
He can.
Kicked a couple of goals on the weekend.
Yep.
And let's see what that looks like with him and Rob.
Oh, about effing time. Can I say that? I mean, for F's sake.
So ultimately, and then I'd put Cook or McHenry as your sub.
Okay.
So, and I know Cookie did a reasonable job last year, kicked 3 with limited opportunities.
7 touches or something.
I just think that, maybe him or Ned get that nod. So essentially, Dowling, Curtin and Strawn in for Crouch, Walker and Murphy.
I'm picking that team.
So just something a little bit different. Like, let's have a look at
it.
And I think it's an opportunity, once again, against Richmond, a little bit of freshness, different look. The players go in, up and about. There's some freshness there with a couple of players that haven't played for a 5-day break.
Yep.
So
like
that's where I went. I'll probably get howled down, but...
No, 8223000.
Yeah.
Who likes that team?
We'll see if we can quickly get that posted up.
Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it.
Just have a look at that. If I got that right, just have a look. I've only got 4 on the bench for some reason. I must have missed somebody.
You had Ned as the sub.
How am I going?
So it'd be Ned or Cook as your sub.
So 1 or 2.
Yeah. Come on, Timmy.
Yeah. Sorry.
A bit quicker. 8223000, $50 powers voucher. After the break, Campo's team moving forward. Curtains in. Young Dowling's in. Murph's out. Strawn's in. Like it a lot.
And preface this, I don't want to see a forward up at the stoppage. I want 666 today.
666.
Oh, very, very good.
God, you beated that there. What?
I don't like it.
No. No, but it's not working for us. Because that extra, the stoppage, doesn't affect the stoppage.
No, but it's also allowing the Tom Stewarts of the world
100%.
Campo's in the senior coaching chair of the Crows at the moment. He's just picked his team. Have you say 8223000. Let's check your traffic.
Got a 2-car collision causing massive delays at Payneham at the moment. Payneham Road near Lower Portrush Road, really heavy in all directions there. Oaklands Park, another collision. Oaklands Road near Morford Road. Slow for works at Tea Tree Gully. North East Road near Memorial Drive. And we've got a camera at Lyons Road, Holden Hill. Hey FIVEAA, don't delay. Keep snoozing at bay with Telfast Non-Drowsy Relief. Get the 70-pack on sale now at Chemist Warehouse. Always follow the directions for use. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA is Adelaide's leader in sport. Thanks to Rossdale Homes. Check out our display villages throughout Adelaide and the Hills. They're open all this weekend.
When you buy from Southern Steel Supplies, you're buying from a company forged right here in SA. For over 40 years, Southern Steel Supplies has supported those building our great state, from major construction projects to DIY around the home. If it's steel you need, Southern Steel Supplies has it all, including processing and delivery. Southern Steel Supplies, Lonsdale, Murray Bridge, Gawler and Renmark. southernsteelsupplies.com.au, the South Australian Steel Company.
You've selected your block up on the York Peninsula, and now you just want to be there every weekend. Selector Homes have been building transportable homes for over 25 years. They have a huge range of designs and, importantly, their team really listen and are totally flexible with design options. You're not only selecting a fixed price with no hidden costs, you're selecting the best weekends ever. Selector Homes and Building Solutions Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton. Visit selectorhomes.com.au.
82230000, the sport line number. We're calling it Campo's team, and after this live read, there's a lot of immediate feedback, but you've got a little proviso around Peds and Rochelle.
Well, I love Luke, and I'm unashamedly a Luke Pedler fan, but I'm just concerned about his shoulder, and I don't want to see him injure anymore. But there were I had him highlighted as, if you're really brave, do you pull the trigger on Rochelle and Pedler? Okay, because I think sometimes you just need to go back and just have a little tidy up around your attitude and those sort of things.
Done.
And do that. So that's...
I'm doing it.
Yeah. Okay, we interrupt this very important broadcast for this
we're
very
talking
important,
crows, mate.
very important message. Before you decide anything about solar,
yes.
take a moment, do
Yes.
some research, and you'll understand there's plenty of money to be saved on your energy bills. But I'm saying get to the people who know what they're talking about, who own and run the solar company that you're buying from.
Exactly. Look into Exceed Solar. Long before Exceed Solar were a company, they were climbing up and down roofs all over the state. They were installing solar panels, inverters and batteries. They live this stuff.
Correct. They've seen it all because they've done it all. And because they're qualified electricians, not salespeople, they know firsthand what it is that you need to get the best possible results for your home.
Talk about point of difference in business. Here's their point of difference. They're not salespeople. You won't get a hard sell. They know the game. They live the game. And they won't sell it to you.
That's right, mate. They're all about the knowledge.
Correct.
That's what it's about. Get in touch with Exceed Solar.
Done.
You'll love the experience. They're terrific people. Exceed Solar, they are built on knowledge, not a hard sell. exceedsolar.com.au.
There's a new kid on the block at Wayville. Literally. Wayville Hyundai, Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai service centre with free drop-offs, next-day availability and loan cars. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai, driven by Australian Motors.
Unique, loyal, fun-loving. That's what we look for in our pals. When you're next spending time with your best friends, don't forget some of the best pals you can have. Parafield Airport Liquor Store has your everyday favourites right through to those hard-to-find products. That's what great pals do. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf, so you can always rely on their advice. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals. Next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Kyton's Bakery has been baking delicious, award-winning products in SA for over 85 years, using the best ingredients, traditional recipes, and they take great care to bake products that delight. Their amazing range is all about those moments in life, moments that make life special. Whether it's for you or as a gift, or maybe your favourite fundraising event, Kyton's have everything you need. From our family to yours. kytonsbakery.com.au for product range and stockists.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 5 for Unique Homestyle Foods. Scotty Camporeale is here. We want your calls. He just dropped his team, and goodness me, has the text line gone berserk. Vote 1 Campo for coach, says Joe. Carly says, can we get him back at the Crows, please? Stat, so much love for him at the minute.
Well, I like this one. How's the Crows pity party going in there? We'll get Nick. Hello, Scotty at Findon.
Hey, guys. Scotty, I mean, I'm a Scotty as well. That's why ideas. I've already lined up at Adelaide Oval if they... And I just want to get your view on a bit of a left of field, but Tyler World and how much he's burning it up.
Yeah, no, well, I can sort of talk about Tyler because my boys have played a lot of footy with him and against him. But yeah, he's a quality forward. Kicked 8 on the weekend for the Eagles under 18. So that's nice and handy going into Vic Country this week. The boys are off to Melbourne to play against Vic Country, so he's in good form. And yeah, quality.
He's got
quality
a game.
Player. Yeah.
He's Scott Welsh's son.
Son,
For those who
correct.
want to know,
Yep.
he's father-son.
Father-son this year.
And
Yep.
he'll be a Crow. Well done. Thanks, mate. Let's go to Kensington. Jack?
Forget Nathan Buckley. Scott Camperelli for Tassie. Let's get it going, shall we?
Too cold for me.
Yeah, he doesn't like the cold.
Unbelievable. Look, I'll be really quick, really simple. The one thing we've got to do with the Crows is align the ages of the lines. And by that I mean what you said is get the midfielders in, with the age groups, aligned up so they can progress and get games together at a similar age. Still have the experience there, like your Laird, maybe Crouch when he comes back. But across, half-back, Laird and Smith, real experienced heads there. Let's get some youth around the ball because we've just been mismatched with age groups. They're not progressing at the same rate as each other. And in a couple of years, we want the Hawthorn midfield of those 3 or 4 guys, similar ages, who would have played 60 games as a group, as a unit. We want that.
Yeah, it does help, doesn't it? Continuity.
Absolutely.
Spot on, Jack. I undersold that midfield of Hawthorn. They absolutely pants us. Average age 23.7 months.
Well, you're getting continuity with your back six, and I think that's really important in terms of their development. You throw Murray back in that
Worrell.
group, and you get Worrell back who's fit. That's a pretty solid back line that you've got to choose from, and real competition for spots when it comes at back.
Yeah, they don't win flags. Hello, Adam.
G'day, guys. Just want to say well done, Campo, for selecting some of those guys, putting them in good positions, because that's what we're going to see. We're going to see these guys, I think, not let the Crows down. And with a guy like Kieran Strawn, who I've been crying out for weeks and weeks, I'm crazy not picking him, because I watch a lot of Sandford football. Guy is just so good, and he's so intelligent. He reads the ball beautifully. He's a good tap ruckman. He goes down. He's good with his hands and grabs the footy, and he knows where the little fellas are underneath him as well, and he's going to prove a nuisance if they pick him on this week, and he won't let you down. He's just a really, really very intelligent ruckman who knows where to be, and I just hope the Crows don't risk playing injured players this weekend. Give these guys that have been waiting, knocking on the door. Don't go in with Tex if he's not fit, because I don't want to have him subbed out at quarter time or anything like that. Play the young guys, get Dowling in, get Kieran in. Goodness gracious me, the guy has shown so much loyalty, and they've given him nothing.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Probably the best big man in the sample. And not by a little way, by the length of the straight.
Well, I remember. Do you remember at the back end of was it 2022 when he played against Max Gordon? He was very good. I coached Strawny. He was part when he was there, and he is that the caller's right. I don't know whether he knows him personally. He's a smart football person. Like he gets it. Like he's actually got a midfield type brain with the way he sees the game, and he does. He kicks it well. He's got good skills for a big fella, and he's had to bide his time, unfortunately. And I think part of it's been, because of the way that they want to play, and Rob's got the ability to play big minutes. But ultimately, we see other clubs that are prepared to do it. Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, the ship sailed. Hello, Stephen.
G'day, fellas, and I want to just address this to Scott. I just don't understand, Scott. With your insight, why are you not involved in coaching at AFL? You have got more insight than a lot of other coaches in the AFL. You actually remind me a lot of Ancelotti from Real Madrid. That's who you remind me of. And look what happened there. I really think I've got a lot of respect for you, and I really think you should get involved with coaching again. I would love to see you at the Crows.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the call.
Real Madrid just won another championship too.
It's nice.
Jeez, that's mad.
Yeah. Nice to
so
get
is
some
the
feedback.
likeness
I wasn't
there,
getting that
Stephen?
feedback 4 years ago.
No. Is the likeness because of the Italian bloodline? Is it the looks, the grey hair? Is it the
everything?
Or is it the intel?
The class.
It's the he's now known as the package.
Real Madrid. I mean, that is. Did you touch on that on Monday?
Yeah,
Real Madrid winning?
That is
Champions League.
What they won again. I think
15.
The most winningest.
Winningest. 15. Unbelievable.
League
Well,
trophy.
well done. I can report on the Foodland live stream that Campo is blushing. He has gone a little bit red. He's very humble.
I enjoy here, to be honest. I like being
in the
on
cheap
this side.
seats.
I've been in the expensive seats, and it's nice to be on this side for a
Let's go
change.
to Nick and find out his thoughts, Nick.
Nikolai.
Yes, hello, boys. Scotty, just before I start, you might not remember me. I used to feed you those big bacon and egg sandwiches when you was trying to get to Carlton, Mandy Snack Bar.
Oh, yeah.
When you were still working with
when I was an apprentice.
Tony.
Yep.
That's right, yeah.
They're beautiful. Looked after me for smoke, eh? Most beautiful. Thanks,
Well,
Nick. Good to hear from you.
Lovely to hear from you too. And well done with this choice. I consider that an intelligent way of picking a team. I used to coach young kids, and when I had to pick the best 11, and then I had a couple of reserves, some of them used to be a little bit sad, but I always had the thinking that when you, for injuries or whatever reason, the next lot that you put in, they weren't a team that we're going to lose because we haven't got this and that. I used to say, you're a team that's not going to lose. And to get the little boys to be happy, I used to use the analogy that they were like my spare tyres of a Ferrari, that when they have to go change the tyres so they could still win the race, you needed to have the spare tyres. And by golly, when those little kids used to come on in place, they put everything they had into it, you know. And okay, they didn't always win, but I tell you what, they put a lot of effort and you know, they was really competitive.
That's a great point, Nick. It is true. And a lot of
great analogy.
You know, and they'll, you know, there'll be some deficiencies, there'll be some nerves, there'll be some, you know, but
mistakes.
But ultimately, just embrace them and just let it go, mate. Like, just go and play. Like, there's no pressure. You know, the only pressure is the pressure you're putting on yourself. But go out and perform and free yourself up, and you've got a great opportunity. Like, back these guys in.
That team that you picked would win this Thursday.
Let's go to Neil. G'day, Neil.
G'day. I'm a little bit shocked about the Rochelle comments. I'm not a great fan of Rochelle, and I'm a Crows supporter, been in there since day one, inaugural member. He worries me because he's one of those footballers or sportsmen I've seen over the years that's got all the talent in the world, but I don't think he's got the nous. You know that he averages 60 rating points per game this year, and he's sort of bemoaning the fact that he's not in the midfield. Perhaps if he got in and got the ball would be better. And I think that's where the Crows have got a problem and why I like what Scott's doing, although I don't like your thoughts on Borlase and Cook, because they're two young lads that Borlase turned the corner on Saturday, played a great game.
Well, I had Borlase still in the team. What do
I
you
know,
like
but
about
you want to put him on the bench.
Yeah, but he's there as a rotation with Keane and Butts.
He can be on there for 4 minutes.
You know as well as I do that when young kids you got to encourage, and he had a breakout game the other day. Start him on the bench, start him on the field and see what happens.
Happy to do that.
Cook's the same, but Rochelle, he just hasn't got the nous or hasn't got the heart or hasn't got the effort or something's wrong with that lad, and he's got to learn to earn his place in the midfield because we got enough guys in there like him right now who lack pace. And he lacks pace to go with other things, so earn your place.
Oh, well, I think that's a general consensus. For me, I think he's got all the tricks. I just don't think he's got an AFL midfield work rate. That's my knock on him. Like, in terms of if you're going to play midfield,
you got to work both ways. Is he going to work both ways?
Well, this is what I would do. Go, Josh Rochelle. If you want to play midfield, if I was a midfield coach and I heard some of that, okay, I want you to go and play on Rory Laird in the match simulation. Let's see, because people can knock Rory Laird, but I tell you what, you go and watch Rory Laird run like in a game. That's why people can be critical about. But he picks up 30, 35 possessions on the basis of that's pure work rate. You don't trip over that, right? So go and play on him, and then see what you can do from there. And then if you work with him offense and defense, then you get a good picture as what it looks like to be. Because he's won a couple of best and fairest playing in that role.
That's exactly right.
I played a couple of seasons with Craig Bradley, and then he went over to Carlton. As obviously was playing very well. One of his parents was ill, so he came home, and so he came out and trained with the Magpies, and I was probably around about 22 at the time, and thinking I was going okay. Came out to train and they said, come with me. And, mate, I've never worked so hard on a Tuesday in all my life. I was absolutely knackered afterwards, and you go, there's always another level.
Of course, he's well said.
And you did that tonight. You lifted to another level, Campo.
I'm
and
back.
Outstanding.
Like, can you feel it? I'm back. No, I am now back.
Oh, it's all
Now
for
let's see
Unique
if we can
Homestyle
deliver.
Foods. I tell you, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses, large and small. For 35 years, hustlers in the baking industry. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au.
We're talking Origin next with Darren Lockyer.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The Police Commissioner says he and his family accept Diran Rundawa's guilty plea in court today. He admitted to causing the crash that killed 18-year-old Charlie Stevens. Questions are being asked about a plan to begin recruiting foreigners into Australia's military. Independent federal MPs have introduced a bill in Canberra which would fine businesses that refuse to accept or don't carry cash. And in sport, Tex Walker will undergo a fitness test tomorrow to see if he's okay to play Thursday night when the Crows face Richmond. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Help the Jodie Lee Foundation fight bowel cancer. Round up your purchases in June at Star Discount Chemists.
Still got some big delays at Payneham with a two-car collision, Payneham Road near Lower Port Rush Road. That's heaving all directions there. Smash to look out for at Oaklands Road at the intersection of Diagonal Road, causing delays. And we're slow at Lonsdale, Dyson Road near Sullivan's Beach Road, speeds at 60. Curra's Harris Road, Vale Park, and Smart Road at St Agnes. From school drop-off to the beach, everywhere is an adventure with the 7-seat Isuzu MUX. Visit your local Isuzu Ute dealer today to discover the range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 6 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. Right now it's 12 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
This is an economy in distress. I just wonder what a small business owner feels like every time the RBA says inflation's too sticky and effectively people are spending too much money because they're not spending it on things in the retail world.
At one of the local supermarkets near me, a 750ml bottle of extra virgin olive oil, $25.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
This is why people aren't buying flash new clothes.
Yep.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Folks travel far and wide to meet Trev from Rollerco.
G'day, is Trev around? Oh, sorry, mate, he's with a customer right now.
Trev's always eager to please. Just pat him on the belly and he'll do anything for you. Oh yes, Trev said you can order your sliding door or window parts online and he'll organise delivery to your door. Rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling. No, I'm not patting you on the belly. Oh, all right.
Now, let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Oh, wrong swear jar. This is it. From Martin the Tiler, affectionately known as Millimetre Martin. He swears you'll love his millimetre-perfect craftsmanship. And here's one from Rick the Plumber. Rick swears to always clean up after himself, guaranteed. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. After 106 years, Adelaide's own Archer and Holland are closing their doors. Before they do, they're offering 40% off all jewellery. Shop 26 City Cross. Good food and great times. That's the Griffins. The Griffins' new $12.50 seniors menu. Monday to Saturday for lunch. 38 High Marsh Square in the city. 5AA. Supporting local business.
As a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs over 70 years, guess who it is? BL Shipway, the team of the best in the business. Now, they work with the best suppliers as well, including Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Allpath, Easy Fit, and many more. Now, they've got plenty of stock in their new location. It's at 71 Morfett Road, and Graham Corns tells me you can eat off the floor, it's that clean. It's amazing. Now, if you can get in store, jump on the blower, have a chat. They're always there to help. But if you can't, BL Shipway state-of-the-art workshop will take care of your equipment and servicing repairs. And if they can send out a 24/7 Ryco mobile hose repair van if you're out there on your own. So support a great SA company. Anything you need to do with hydraulics, BL Shipway is the place to go. Their new location, 71 Morfett Road, Camden Park. Check them out at blshipway.com.au.
Don't miss Ram Truck's 4.99% finance mates rate. Get a Hemi V8 Ram Bighorn with a 4.99% mates rate from Ram Trucks Finance. Ends 30 June. Visit ramtrucks.com.au. T&Cs apply. Approved ABN applicants of Ram Trucks Finance only.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes to 6. Ned McHenry in studio very soon, and he's got the fishing show a little bit later on tonight. And we've also got Roger Rashid around the corner to talk about the French Open, and Alex Diminor, who's through to the quarterfinal.
Well, I'll tell you what, our next guest, what an absolute champion of this game he was. Wide world of sports commentator now, but I'll tell you what, when he was playing, Queensland never lost. I'm talking about Darren Lockyer. Welcome.
Evening, gents. I'd probably be... I reckon Queensland did lose a couple of times under my watch. So,
not that I can remember.
Oh, hang on, only a couple.
And that's the main thing. Gee, they were involved in that incredible run of victories over New South Wales. But it's all starting again. And number one game, Stadium Australia. Have you given New South Wales half a chance, letting them get off to a good start playing at home?
Well, it's a whole new team, new coach, new theories, new ideas. And, yeah, look, he's picked a team based on character and effort, and Origin, like a lot of big games, is that's the difference. I guess getting that effort off the ball is such an important part to the result. So it'd be interesting to see what style they play tomorrow night. But I guess what I do know is Queensland's always been built that way, that they go into every Origin, no matter how much talent they got there. They're there to do their best for their state, and they'll play for 80 minutes and leave nothing left in the team.
And he's named 6 debutants. We're talking about Michael Maguire. He's taking over as the Blues coach. Putting 6 debutants in, do you reckon that is just to reinvigorate perhaps the hunger?
Yeah, I think just a refresh is probably the best word to describe it. I remember in 2001 when Wayne Bennett took over after Queensland had a dismal series in 2000. We lost 3-0 and we were hammered in Game 3. It was actually quite embarrassing. And Dave, I think he picked 8 debutants in 2001, Game 1, and we won that game convincingly. So, look, I think picking 6 debutants has its risks, but at the same time, it brings in a new energy and a fresh approach. So, playing at home is obviously a big advantage. In State of Origin, Queensland are very hard to beat at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane, and in the last few years, New South Wales have proven very hard to beat at Stadium Australia. So, it makes for another really intriguing contest.
20 of 31 New South Wales have won at Stadium Australia. Tell us about Michael Maguire.
Won a premiership at South. He's got a real hard edge to him. So he could almost sort of be, I'm not sure if he has history in the military, but he could almost be in the military.
Wow.
He's that, very much attention to detail, but he wants his team fit and he wants them to work hard every minute of the game. So hence the reason why he's picked some of the players he's picked. They're all hard workers, they're all effort players, and there's obviously the big story to come out of their team was they dropped their captain and James Tedesco and their fullback and one of the best players in the game. Yeah. They picked Dylan Edwards. There's no denying how good Dylan Edwards is, and he probably deserved his spot. But Dylan had to pull out due to injury, so James Tedesco, who was originally dropped his captain, is now back. And as a Queenslander, he's probably the player I fear the most.
Yeah.
They've got themselves a new captain, Jake. Now, how do you pronounce that surname? Help me out, Darren.
Trebojevic. Jake Trebojevic. So,
yeah. He's a rooster, isn't he?
Well, he's basically a reflection of, what Michael Maguire is. Okay. He just wants work ethic. Jake's a really nice guy. He's got a great rapport with all his players. They all look up to him. They all follow him because he's humble and he just gets the job done. Mm. He's got a brother called Tom Trebojevic who's not available, but he's one of the the most damaging runners in the game. He plays fullback normally, but he was unavailable. And then he's got another brother called Ben Trebojevic who plays at Manly. So they all play in the same team at club level, but Jake's the only one playing for New South Wales this time around, and he's the captain. And I think that's just a statement of what Michael Maguire, how he wants this team to play.
Wow.
Hey, Darren, I know you're on the Queensland selectors. I saw a little clip with Billy Slater, and they said, Fatty Vaughton was a bit critical of your selection.
Oh, hello.
Well, Billy fired up. He wasn't happy with that, and he said, hey, I watch a lot of football, a lot of Queensland football, and off he went. And so what was it that Fatty was it a particular player he wasn't happy with, or positioning, or?
Oh, I think it was more the composition of the bench. So they got four bench players. They've gone for 4 forwards, and there's a couple of big guys on the bench. We've gone for 2 forwards and 2, I guess, smaller men. Well, when I say smaller men, I wouldn't say Selwyn Kelway's not small. Like, he's a big man, but he plays in the outside backs. And then we have Harry Grant, who's a backup hooker. So we've got 2 specialised forwards on the bench. They've got 4, and I think look to be fair to Fat Paul Vaughton, I think his comments were probably is a storm in a teacup, so to speak. He made a comment that he was a bit unsure about the bench that was selected, and then the media, as they do, they sensationalise that, and that sort of created a few headlines. But Billy's right. He watches, like, he works for Nine, and he obviously watches a lot of footy when he's working, but he's a very diligent coach, and he watches a lot of footy. So the big part for Billy is he looks at habits in players. So it's not so much how many tries they score or how many tackles they make. He looks for what they're doing when the ball's not around them. So it's that movement off the ball that's a big factor for Bill. And look, Selwyn, if you remember a player by the name of Greg Inglis,
yes.
Selwyn's very much like that. Yeah, like he's a rare talent. Yeah, if he gets on the field, he'll create some havoc in attack. It's just what Billy does with him in defence. So that's probably the big question mark.
Awesome, mate. We loved it here last year in Adelaide. It was absolutely sensational. Are they going to rotate that through Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, that third game?
They are. So there's basically every year there's a neutral game. So
excellent.
So the first one obviously is tomorrow night in Sydney, and then they'll go to Melbourne for game 2.
Yep.
And then game 3 up in Brisbane. So Suncorp is probably, as a Queenslander, like that's a nice. I mean, we just need, like in my head, we just need to win one out of the first 2 and know that we're coming home for at least a decider. Yeah. I mean, in the perfect world, we've won the first 2 and we're coming home for a party. But when you've got game 3 up your sleeve, and if you just got to win, you got to jag one of the first 2, and hopefully it's tomorrow night. That'll give us a massive advantage.
Sensational stuff. We look forward to the coverage, mate, on 9. Really appreciate your time.
No worries, gents. Enjoy the footy tomorrow night, and good to talk to you.
Good man. Darren Lockyer, Wide World of Sports commentator. State of origin. State versus state. Mate versus mate.
It's a great billing, isn't it? 4:45. A lot of text coming through on the back of Campo's team for the Crows. I do like this one, and we will do this next week. This is Chris from Adelaide. What on Campo on the Crows team? What about doing Port's team? Yes. Because he's got their Lord, Williams, Cleary, McKenzie, Narkle. Too many guys with gold passes. We'll put that to Campo next Tuesday.
Great call.
Port's team for round 14. Hello, Sam.
Good day, mate. How are you? Just a quick thing, a quick one for both of you. Yep. Timmy,
yes.
I applaud your speech on Thursday night after the game about what Jack used to say, but unfortunately that just doesn't get through to any of them anymore, does it?
I think there's different coaching methods, I think, today. Yeah, I think there is, Sam, you're right.
Because without a doubt they need to rev up. And I don't think our defenders even punch when they're from behind, and our leaders don't want to tackle, Timmy.
Yeah, I've got to say, Sam, when we get in those situations, and it happened again when they scored 7-1 from stoppage, all of that 1% of work that you're talking about just seems to disappear. And that is about intent and work rate. So it really does. It's still that Achilles heel that we've got, Sam. That's what it is, my friend, and we've got to try and fix it.
All right, some news that's just come out before we get to a break around the Crows Thebarton Oval HQ move. It is reported today on In Daily just now that the State Commission Assessment Panel on Monday afternoon has granted the Crows planning consent to build a new training and administration facility at Thebarton Oval. So it has won approval for the planning of the $100 million Thebarton move, which is great
Which
to
we
hear.
knew because the chairman, John Olsen, said that.
So the information around this is the ground floor of the new Thebarton facility will feature a retail outlet, a licensed cafe with outdoor dining, and a club museum. The second floor will hold a function room with a kitchen, bar, and outdoor terrace. And it also includes this plan 5 40-metre high floodlights, realignment and resurfacing of Thebarton Oval, and a new training oval at Kings Reserve, and upgrades to the site's state heritage listed entry gates and ticket stand.
Well done.
That is some big detail coming out this afternoon.
That's rubber stamp. So it's all now on the proviso of the other council letting the Sandful move back to Footy Park.
That's exactly right.
So one step closer.
They are getting there slowly but surely. But that is some good news coming out
That's
today
right.
from the State Commission Assessment Panel.
June 11, I think, was the date.
Correct.
A week away.
We'll know about the Charles Sturt vote for sure. Let's check your traffic first. Roger Rashid to join us after the break.
Got a two-car collision causing a really big delay still at Paynham Road near Lower Port Rush Road, heavy in all directions there. Oaklands Park, another collision. Oaklands Road near Morford Road. Slow going for works at Prospect. Main North Road near Penn Place. And busy Brighton Road at Glenelg East. Cameras, Lyons Road, Holden Hill. And Smart Road at St Agnes. Did someone say free donuts? That's right. Donut King is giving away free hot cinema donuts this Friday to celebrate National Donut Day. Donut, miss out. Conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Our state can be proud of its unique businesses, big and small. Let's celebrate them with 5AA's Best of SA.
Dave Benson Caravans have operated for 30 years, so if you haven't yet, visit their huge undercover showroom. It's like a year-round caravan show with a fantastic range of Australian-built caravans and an experienced team here to tailor the right caravan to your lifestyle. Your holiday journey begins at Dave Benson Caravans.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Copper is critical to the energy transition, including the manufacture of electric cars, wind turbines and solar panels. The need for responsibly produced South Australian copper is clear. It's happening now at BHP. Visit bhp.com/critical.
When I grow up, I want to build houses.
At age 8, Leah has one dream: to build a house for her family. But that dream is slipping out of reach. Leah tries so hard at school, but poverty is holding her back. Without the things she needs for school, Leah is falling behind. Will you give Leah the support she needs to catch up, realise her dream, and build a better tomorrow? Search the Smith family and donate today.
Now, Matty B was a kid when he bought a pie from the local tuck shop and only took one bite to realise this was no ordinary pie. It was actually a very ordinary pie, and it triggered something deep inside Matty B's recess in his brain.
It did. And I love people who are wired this way. Matty B said, you know what, bugger this, I'm not eating this.
Nah.
Insert swear word here,
Yeah,
pie.
rubbish.
I'm going to make the best pies in the world. Not in Australia, South Australia, the universe, the world. And he did. And Matty B, look, he's unique. But it is unique pies, and that's what he's named it. Unique home style.
Turns out many years later, Matty B kept his promise, and unique pies are the best pies in the world. And Matty spent a lifetime perfecting them.
Yeah, he rang us today and said, Timmy, please do that, because you're different like me. Get unique pies from your local independent supermarket or wherever awesome food is sold. Unique pies, it's time for something better.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industries sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA-engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
There are many joys that come with growing older, and Arbor Vitae helps you optimise these joys. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement made from natural ingredients like pycnogenol. enzyme papain from the papaya fruit, aloe vera and honey. It helps to reduce mild arthritis, relieve other joint pain and helps to maintain healthy blood glucose, cholesterol levels and cognitive functions. For Tracy from New South Wales, Arbor Vitae has saved her career. She's a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years. After trying Arbor Vitae, all her pain disappeared and she thanks Arbor Vitae for saving her career. Optimise your life and visit arborvitae.com.au. Remember, always read the label and follow the directions for use. Stocked in chemists and health food stores all over Adelaide.
Reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the production of copper is critical, and why BHP has committed to solar, wind and battery agreements to help power our copper mine at Olympic Dam, South Australia. Visit bhp.com/critical.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Welcome back. It is 7 minutes to 6. Ned McHenry will join us in studio after the news. And come along this Friday and watch The Drive Show live with Rowey and Timmy G from 4 o'clock at the Cremorne Hotel on Unley Road. Free drink on arrival. We've got sample ticket giveaways, prizes and more. We'd love to have you there on Friday. And some great news as well overnight. If you missed it, Alex de Minaur has made it through to the quarterfinals at the French Open. Here he is.
Me complaining all these years of my level on the clays, but now looks like it's one of my best slam results. So looks like I've converted myself into a clay specialist.
Yes, he was sensational last night. I tell you what, it was a cracking game to actually watch, and he got over Medvedev, and it was just in fine form too, because after the first set, I thought, he's on top here. We're going to go to our tennis expert and good friend, Roger Rashid. How are you, mate?
Timmy, Rowey, how are you, boys?
Rash.
Hey, mate, I really enjoyed watching the contest. First of all, how important is the toss was won by Medvedev. He says you can serve, which automatically I would have thought you want to get off to a good start, but he broke and he held that break until the end and won that set 6-4. So what is, like, at the beginning, what is, because in cricket it's the old story, you know, you think about bowling and then you bat. You always bat. So what is it in tennis?
Yeah, look, I used to always love my players serving first because I like the scoreboard pressure when it gets to 4-3 or 5-4, and all of a sudden you could be battling away on your serve, but be 5-4 up and step out, and then you win that opening point at 5-4. Pressure turns up, and before you know it, people react differently. With these two guys, they both don't. The Demon, even though he served really well for sets 2, 3, and 4. It's not a big serve, and it doesn't react enormously off the court. So Medvedev, he knows he's going to get into a lot of rallies, which they did. That very first opening game, he really extended Alex and challenged him to keep a lot of balls in play and tried to frustrate him. He didn't broke. And so between those two guys, it probably doesn't matter as much, if you know what I mean, because they don't. It wasn't a demanding serve of the Demon. He doesn't have one of those serves. But, wow, what he has done, though, boys, is through this is he's built a belief system over the last couple of years. You win tournaments, you're ranking, you get into the top 10 for the first time. You start to you behave differently in the locker room because now you're more respected as a player that walks out to the court and does beat the opposition. So he's got a sense of patience on the court. He trusts his game more. Is it a true clay court game? No. Does it need to be? Not really if you're a great competitor. He hunts the ball down. He keeps every ball in play. The conditions are not his favourable ones. It's been heavy. It's been a wet Roland Garros. But he makes you play the ball and he makes you play right through. And, I thought he played extremely well last night. Used the court well. And when I say use the court well, played 13 drop shots. Yeah. Now, that's just moving your player around the court in different parts of the court and challenging their movement. And a lot of it's about the sanity of the opponent, when you're actually having to track down that many drop shots. So all credit to him, and it's a hell of an effort, and he's in for a cracker come the quarterfinals.
Rog, you're right. And what I thought with the drop shots, and even though he missed a few, he didn't stop trying, and what it did was Medvedev, that's not his one wood, is it? He had to come in with his big gangly arms and legs to try and get there, and sometimes when he did and played a good shot, I loved de Minaur's lobbing. His lobbing was outstanding.
Yeah, and also, Rowey, you know, Timmy, you're playing a player like Medvedev who openly puts it out there that this is not his favourite surface either. So he has a real hate-love relationship with it, really. So a hell of a player, but doesn't move as naturally. You know, he's tall and he's a great mover for his height. But on clay, you know, you can find him out, and there's obviously inbuilt frustrations. What I loved about Medvedev, though, he stepped out in his press conference and he just said, "I've got nothing else to say except Alex was just too good today." Yeah, he played great tennis. I did everything I possibly could today, and Alex actually was just too good for me on the day. So, you know, hats off to him. And that's just for someone like Medvedev to talk like that about Alex's game. That's a huge tick on his side of the court.
Yeah, well done. Akoki got exited in the third round. Just before we go, we're hard up against the news. Djokovic continues to break records. He's now won more Grand Slams than anyone, Rog.
Yeah, right. Look, it's exceptional. 37 years of age. The last two matches he's had to play over 9 hours of tennis. So he's now played over close to 13 hours, 14 hours of tennis. No player in the history of the game has, after 4 rounds, Rowey and Timmy, has ever won a major playing that much tennis. So if he does get through, it'll be probably his greatest major performance of all time, and it's exceptional what he's doing.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it, mate. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, boys.
That's Roger Rashid, of course, world-renowned coach and, local tennis expert for us.
Well, he is. Friend of the show, too. He is a pal. Look, before we get to the 6 o'clock news, we've got Ned McHenry. Yeah, we do, after the break. Sadly, the footy world, well, we've lost an Australian Football Hall of Famer, no question, a WA Hall of Fame legend. I speak of John Todd. So think of what Jack Cale is to us here. John Todd is certainly to WA. He was a Sandover medalist with my club, South Fremantle. Started as, I reckon, a 16-year-old. Just incredible talent. Got injured. And then he went into coaching, coached my club, South to Flag, East Fremantle, Swan District, 6 Flags and all that. Was the second-year coach of the West Coast Eagles. He was a leader of men before his time. Just an absolute ripper. So to his wife, to his family, his friends, his teammates, and those from the other states. His state footy was incredible. His record, coached Australia a number of times.
Yes.
He coached the 84 tour where
McIntosh
went bunter.
Correct.
Macca loved him.
Put him in the goals.
John Todd loved Macca, and the rest is history. So to John Todd and his family, condolences.
Yeah, well said. 6 o'clock news time.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Down to 6 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow 18. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The Cremorne Hotel, the pub that won Top Gong for Best Overall Metropolitan Hotel in Australia 2023.
The police commissioner was in court today as Dhiren Randhawa admitted to killing his 18-year-old son Charlie Stevens in a hit run during schoolies. He pleaded guilty to 1 aggravated count of driving without due care. He now faces a maximum 12-month prison term. The original charge of death by dangerous driving carried a heftier penalty. Grant Stevens spoke after the proceedings.
On behalf of our family, we'd just like to acknowledge that Dhiren has taken responsibility for his actions that saw us lose our son Charlie. And we've also been handed a letter of apology, so we'll take time to read that.
Randhawa remains on bail. He'll be back in court in August for sentencing submissions. There's more help for those trying to break into the property market. Premier Peter Malinauskas says they're making changes to stamp duty concessions and the first homeowners grant in this week's budget.
There will no longer be $1 of stamp duty for any new build, for any new home buyer in South Australia. If you're a first home buyer and you decide to build a new home, regardless of the value of that home, you will no longer pay any stamp duty whatsoever.
A no-confidence motion in the SA Health Minister during Parliament this afternoon didn't pass, the opposition taking aim at Chris Picton over the ramping crisis. But the tables were then turned on the Libs when the government made mention of David Spears missing the budget on Thursday. The opposition leader is off to his native Scotland for a wedding. The Precious Cargo chain of childcare centres has been placed in administration. A buyer is now being sought for the business, which has been operating for almost 19 years. The 7 affected centres across Adelaide will continue to operate as normal, and no staff have been terminated. A plan to allow foreigners to serve in the ADF in a bid to tackle personnel shortages is being slammed as fundamentally flawed. The federal government will allow New Zealanders to join the military from next month if they've been a permanent resident for at least a year. That'll be expanded to people from the US, UK and Canada from 2025. But Shadow Assistant Defence Minister Philip Thompson says it's the wrong approach.
You're focusing on all these other nations, but you're not focusing on the systemic issue of why our people, why Australian people aren't joining, and the ones that are leaving at a high rate. You're not tackling those issues.
Eating more fruit could reduce a person's risk of developing depression, according to new research. Scientists followed almost 8,000 people without the disorder over the course of 9 years. They found citrus fruits and green leafy vegetables had the biggest benefit. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
For top brand, tailor-fitted men's suits and casual wear, see Ignition for Men, 54 Payneham Road, Stepney.
Taylor Walker is still a chance to play this Thursday night when the Crows host Richmond. He's been struggling with a sore back, but has told Seven he's not far away from pulling on the boots.
Feels a lot better than last time, yeah. Round 1 was probably more the extreme side of things, so I was struggling to walk for a couple of days, but we'll have a jog around and see how it goes, but we won't be too silly with it. There's plenty more games in the season to be played.
Meantime, Billy Dowling will make his long-awaited debut against the Tigers. The 19-year-old was drafted in 2022 and has impressed in the SANFL this season. Dustin Martin will miss the clash, meaning his 300th game will be held over until next week against Hawthorn at the MCG. Former Gold Coast coach Stuart Dew has agreed to a part-time coaching arrangement with Brisbane. And in tennis, defending champion Novak Djokovic doesn't know if he'll be okay to play his French Open quarter-final. He's blaming the slippery clay at Roland Garros for aggravating a knee injury. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Help the Jodie Lee Foundation fight bowel cancer. Round up your purchases in June at Star Discount Chemists.
Still got some really big delays with that two-car collision at Payneham Road near Lower Portrush Road. That's affecting pretty well all directions there. We are slow at the moment. Kensington Road at Rose Park. Busy at the parade at Norwood with works at Golden Grove to look out for. Golden Grove Road near Einstein Drive speeds at 40. Camera tonight, Harris Road at Vale Park. Drive away in a new MG this end of financial year. Get the MG ZST with sporty alloy wheels, a 10.1-inch screen and more from just $25,490 drive away. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 6 tonight, 18 partly cloudy tomorrow, Thursday partly cloudy 18 and Friday 17. Right now it's 11 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Brenton Brankless. Tonight, the young driver who struck and killed the police commissioner's son in a schoolies crash has pleaded guilty to a lesser charge in a plea deal. Adelaide childcare chain Precious Cargo has gone into voluntary administration. Plus, the P&O cruise brand is being scrapped. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey, don't get too close to the road.
She rides from the top of the driveway to test how fast she can go. And suddenly...
Wait, stop!
She's testing your brakes too. Stop and take time to ensure your car stops in time and the brakes are all you hit. Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
There's a new kid on the block at Wayville. Literally. Wayville Hyundai. Adelaide's newest family-owned Hyundai dealer has landed with the full range at 11 Goodwood Road, Wayville. Change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai. Driven by Australian Motors.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Window. Factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more. Made right here in Adelaide. Factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows. States.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
What's
got Mike singing. Mike just got an energy-efficient heat pump installed by EcoVantage. Not only is it using nearly 80% less energy than his old hot water system and saving hundreds off his power bills, he got it for free. Thanks to federal and SA government incentives, you can get your own energy-efficient heat pump from just $0. Pump your energy bills down with EcoVantage. Visit ecovantage.com.au.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. The Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
Hi, it's Jane Riley. Fashion is a passion for me, but keeping up with trends that last 5 minutes is exhausting. If you prefer classic styles that never go out of date, go where I go, Sydney Street. For 35 years, this iconic SA fashion store has helped mums and daughters find their timeless style, and with over 60 quality brands on their racks, finding your fit is effortless. See the new stock at Sydney Street on Unley Road. Shop online at sydneystreet.com.au.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey, don't get too close to the road. Wait, stop!
Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
9 minutes after 6 on this Tuesday evening. At 6:30 tonight, the 5AA Fishing Show coming up with the great Ned McHenry, who always likes to come in nice and early and join us in studio.
Well, we're just going to talk fishing because the Crows are absolutely stuffed at the moment.
Have you recovered? I heard you were sick. Yes, yesterday. You feeling all right or what?
Well, I had. Notice how I didn't shake your hand and hug you like I normally do.
No,
Say,
usually-
"G'day, Neddy."
usually you give me a big cuddle.
No,
He had
I've got
he had a fatty chop.
a little bit of gastro.
You had gastro?
Well, it wasn't from my grandson, and I mean, I hit the back of the pan and hit the roof like it was.
We don't need to know.
Stephen,
Oh, sorry.
that's not what we on our show. That's
No,
we're
well, after
supposed to-
6 we can get a little bit looser
No, you can't.
when Ned's here.
Well, that's just
Did you dump that?
disgusting. That's
There's still
No, I had gastro
broadcasting.
and upset tummy, not from my grandson looking after him all weekend because he goes to daycare. I had it because of your pathetic start
Okay.
to that game
There we
against
go.
Hawthorn on Saturday.
There he is. He's back. You must be feeling better. You've got your energy back. Good.
Pathetic
gastro. All right.
start.
I'm gonna
It gave me gastro.
I actually did ask Lockie Murphy yesterday. I just said, so when you get a start like that and everybody's like
We've
shouting
all
all the
done
rest
it.
of it, but
We've all
I said,
done it.
where do you feel like the responsibility lies? And he said, well, it definitely relies on the player to make sure that they're individually ready to go for a game. And it's sometimes you can't believe that, you know, the majority of players can rock up and actually be a miss.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it becomes infectious too.
I know what you're saying to me. It's funny because you find 1%ers in different ways. I mean, Rory Sloane's final game, we're at AO, we're watching his highlights. Of course, that gives you a little lift, doesn't it? Or a 250th or a 100th. But every game, you stand together as brothers, as players, and you look at each other and you know what you value, you know what you're trying to work on and trying to do out there. You know, you never walk up the race with your teammates.
It's not deliberate.
No.
No,
So
it's
what
not
do you put
deliberate.
it down to? Because I'm as lost as you are. I mean,
Well, the way I know...
I put it down to shape.
I had a text about it
Shut up,
earlier,
Gastro
which was
boy.
like, you know, well, Timmy, how can they mentally prepare and then rock up and give that? Well, I always traced back because I always did mental homework as well as your physical homework.
Yes.
So I did my mental homework from, if you play Saturday, Monday to Thursday, I'd do my rehearsals inside my head. That'd be affirmations and visualisation.
Yep.
Friday, I let myself go. That's
Okay.
it. I've done my homework.
Yep.
So
Get
I
on the
feel
cans.
refreshed.
Have a few beers?
Never on a Friday.
How far did you let yourself go?
Never on a Friday. Never on a...
Timmy, he's a 300 gamer.
Yeah.
7-time premiership. Yeah,
And then on the
yeah.
on the
You'd see
day,
why.
I felt like I had the preparation mentally.
God, you're straight, aren't you? You
If
are
I
just
didn't,
straight.
if I didn't play well and we lost, and I would go back and go, did you really do your homework during the week enough?
Yeah.
And I'd say to myself, no, I wouldn't lie to myself. I'd say, no, you weren't diligent enough to do your homework properly. So I'd be hard on myself the following week to make sure that I did that mental preparation so that come next game, I'm not going to let myself or my teammates down again.
But Timmy, did you ever have those games where the fall of the bounce or the mystery of footy where you go far out? This week I felt good. I was fresh. I felt like I prepared really well. I trained well, and then just you don't perform. Like, I know, there's no chance in footy, right? You set yourself up and people get what they deserve. But sometimes you can feel so good and prepare and then play poorly. Other times you've had the worst prep. Guys with kids have had 2 kids screaming all night and they find a way to play well. That's footy, isn't it? The bounce of the ball is interesting.
That's why we love it.
Sometimes, the bit about the kids and all the rest of it, I found once I had children, what that did was relax you. And sometimes you can be too intense.
Yep.
And what that bit about being able to relax a little bit can actually help with your clearer vision of where play is.
Yeah.
So that's not... But you still got to do your mental homework as seeing and believing. And the things that make it's funny when everybody's talking about Josh Rochelle and his comments on the news and the rest of it. For me, I'd say, what are the 4 things or 3 things that you do that makes you play well?
Yeah.
And just keep visualising that. So for me to play well, my job was to get first ball. So all I'd see is me doing 3 or 4 things. That'd be a smother off the boot.
Yeah.
That'd be a tackle where I got the ball off of the opposition. It'd be me hitting in first, giving it off to faster players. I'd see those 3 things over and over again in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
And I knew if I did the 1%ers,
yeah,
I'd get it what I call a cheap one, which is an over-the-head handle or whatever.
God, I love hearing
So it was
you talk
all about the
Timmy.
1%ers for me.
So Timmy, you're ahead of your time because visualization in sport and all this mindfulness stuff, that's really just come in really towards the last 2 or 3 years. You were doing that when?
From 20 years of age, yeah.
Ask me how much I visualise.
What were you doing, Gastro Man? You were visualising shitting out the eye of a needle.
I was visualising how
gross.
many stubbies I'd have at the
pan
the Redlegs Club, and yeah. I was going to say what girl I took home, but it was generally Jodie.
Yeah,
So
that's good. Are your poos normal now? Are you back or not?
No, not quite. Well, you know how I quickly, fist
solids.
pumped you on the way out. I was off to a little, how's your mother? Now, I'll tell you why you lost. And try and defend this.
Sorry, I'll straighten up.
Taylor Walker's back's knackered. You played him unfit. He was off. Dawson's got bloody turf toe. We're going to talk about that. Isaac Rankin's not out there. Himmelberg's out. Riley Thilthorpe hasn't been out there all year. Going to talk about his ginger beard. Josh Worrell's not out there. Matt Crouch. How tough's Matt Crouch? Played with an AC. He is tough.
Tough as nails.
And Wayne Miller, mate, I said in the opening, did I not?
Did you say Josh Worrell?
Yeah, Josh Worrell's there.
You did.
Josh Worrell.
Yep.
Arguably 5 of your best 5 players weren't worth a burnt pie on the weekend. They were injured, banged up, or didn't play.
Yeah.
You got too many injuries now. It's the way to numbers.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you to a degree. I mean, around availability. It's frustrating not having some of your best players available to play. Of course, I thought Dawson did really well to get up and play. Matty, he played through that injury, and Tex, obviously, he had a sore back and was subbed out. So you're right. I mean, I can't defend it. Facts are facts. Availability is one thing. Guys that aren't available to be selected, and then we had some poor luck, or you don't believe in luck, do you, Timmy? But we had some injury issues. So, yeah. Look,
Tell us about turf toe. How bad's that for Dawes?
I don't know. I've never had turf toe. What is it?
No. It's a bit like having gout. I've got gout.
Oh, you have gout because you drink so much beer. Isn't that what it's from?
Not.
It is. That's how you get gout.
It's from rich food.
No, it's not, mate. It's from beer.
You can get it from rich tomatoes and stuff
Google
like that.
Google it. You get gout from beer.
No, you can't.
I went on a cruise. Had 8 crayfish tails one night and woke up.
Rowey's right. Rich food and you can do it with beer.
You're just a walking mess, aren't you? You just
I'm getting better.
Yeah.
High acidity.
Yes.
That's what it is, Timmy.
High acidity food. So that could be in drink and in or food.
Correct.
And
Thanks, Timmy.
my understanding is the joint
that.
becomes inflamed, and that's what the turf toe is. And getting that inflammation down is a problem because there's not a lot of blood flow through the toe.
So he's stuffed.
We are stuffed. I mean,
He'll carry that
what a
all year.
ridiculous comment.
Well, he needs
He's
to
not
rest.
stuffed.
He's stuffed. Turf
Not
toe.
stuffed at all.
Turf toe's not good.
There's not a lot of depth to that.
You can only rest.
I mean, what do you mean he's stuffed? I mean,
He
come
needs
on.
to rest.
What are you, a doctor? Are you, Dr. Rowe? What? Describe the diagnosis. You just stay in your lane, mate. I'll stay in mine. All right.
he is stuffed. He needs to rest and get that right.
Stephen. He's not. I spoke to him on the phone before, and he actually said he's actually feeling really, really good. He was walking around Vic Park with his dog. He said, my toe feels good.
Well, then he's
I didn't know
not
it was
stuffed.
turf toe. I didn't know it was diagnosed as turf toe.
I think Tex said that today on air, didn't he?
They did.
Turf toe.
Yep.
Okay.
Google it.
Aaron Sandland's missed 10
Google
weeks
it.
with it.
Did
True
he?
story.
Yeah, righto. Okay, well, he's got big hoofers, though. He's got big feet.
It's worse
Biggest
than gout.
foot I've ever
Now,
seen.
let's get
Flippers.
positive. Before we talk fishing, and we're going to talk fishing,
Yep.
tell us about exciting when there's a debutante. B. Dowling.
Yep.
Young Billy, wearing the same number I wore in my son.
Really? Yeah.
He's my new favourite player. Ned's out and Billy's in.
Good. I don't blame you. Billy's a cracker. Yeah, he's so good. Obviously, he's worked really hard for his opportunity. That's a given. But in the off season, he came back from a running perspective. So we train at Karen Rolton, Timmy, in the off season.
I know.
Anyone who wants to come down and say good day to a few Crows players,
Beautiful
they
surface.
probably don't want to say hi to us at the moment. They want to throw cans at us. But we'll be training down at Karen Rolton in the off season. We'll be there. And you rock up on day one of pre-season, don't you, Timmy?
Yeah.
Sorry, day one of off season, and you think, who's done the work? Who's got that
yeah,
program?
yeah, yeah.
Who's flying?
Who can beat Ned and Chase Jones?
Yeah, no one can beat me around the off season. Anyway.
I like that.
Drinking beers
I like
and
that confidence.
and
That's
in
good.
the running. No, and Billy Down, he came back, mate, and he was fit and he was lean and he was burning everyone on the track, and he just did this body of work through the off season to put himself in a good position to perform and have a great pre-season. So, yep, Timmy, it's a bit like what you say and what we've just said. Not about luck. He did the work and he's getting a great outcome.
Funny
so I'm
how
happy for him.
hard work and opportunity meet.
It does.
That creates luck.
Is that what you say, Timmy?
God, here we go
He's
again.
been very spiritual and very up and about today.
I got hammered by Dirk. He said, welcome to me time with Timmy G.
Yeah, good, Dirk. Agree.
Solid a dictionary or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
What about the one above
Yeah,
it? I
what's he
hate you, Ro, but you're right about gout. Gout's not good. Have you had it?
Never.
No.
No,
Okay.
I don't want it either.
But about Billy, please tell me this, that he's not going to play the high half forward role or the half. Please tell me that he's played all year at the Sample in the midfield.
Are you on selection?
He'll actually play midfield.
I am not in selection,
No, I
so
didn't
thank
think
you
you
for
were.
continuing to ask that. Yeah, no, I'm waiting for Nixie to come in and go, oh, Nettie McHenry, yeah, we need you in, mate. You've got to decide who's playing where. Yeah, you can choose where you play, mate. That's good. Yeah.
No, but you know where I'm coming from.
I do know what you're
Pedler,
saying.
Schomburg, Berry, you can put Rochelle in there. I mean, if he's been promised midfield time and not getting it, well, that's why he's playing crap. I mean, you all get hung out to dry on a half-forward flank. Please tell me he'll be a midfielder on the weekend.
I honestly have no idea. I anticipate he would play a fair bit of midfield, but again, I have no idea.
Okay.
I genuinely don't have any idea.
Okay. Generally none.
Were you going to ask me about the ins and outs? Come on. What? You haven't asked me about that yet?
We don't want to put you in a compromised
And we're not
position,
going.
but are you in?
I'm going to Yankalilla.
I'm not allowed to say.
To speak to Phil. G'day, Phil.
Hey there, how are you?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Phil.
Neddy's here for you, mate.
G'day, Ned. How are you?
Phil, I'm good, mate. You're from a beautiful part of the world. What's going on?
Well, I was going to give you a few tips on fishing down here. I've fished out of Roona myself about 50 years.
Phil, yes.
This time of year, if you're looking for the whiting, Stephen was right. Tides and moon phases are very important. Here, and it's all different wherever you fish. I fished with Tumby Bay Charters. It was lovely to hear Tom on the radio there last week.
He's a cracker, Tom, isn't he? Thanks for listening.
Isn't he? He's a knowledgeable man, that fella. I tell you, one of the best I know. I worked in Port Lincoln 10 years professional fishing, and but Tom was a great guy, and I worked with Mark Rawls out of Tumby Bay Charters out there around the group. But living down here and fishing here for a lot of years with my father and my grandfather, from the first quarter of the moon to three-quarter moon, you'll get your whiting, you'll bag out down here. After the three-quarter to full moon, they feed at night time. So all the little crustaceans and worms are sneaking about, so they'll be feeding at night time on the moonlight when there's no competitors around. The leather jackets, the rock cods, they're not about the place. So they fill up during the night, and during the daytime, very hard to, you might get half a dozen or so if you're lucky. But, that's the time. When you're salmon fishing, if you get yourself about a 15-metre length of line with a 3/0 hook on it and blow up a little black balloon to about the size of your fish, fist, and then when you catch your first salmon, hook that hook in the side of his mouth and return him to the school, and then just go round and round that balloon with your trawling lines. You'll pick up your bag of salmon, because wherever the school goes, whether they dive down and you can't see them, that balloon you'll be able to see where they're at all the time. So
Phil,
it's
that's a
always
good little
handy.
tip.
Yeah, my dad used to cheat a bit living out on Thistle Island. He'd get up in his light aircraft and spot the school with that line with a bit of squid on it, and he'd open the aileron and drop it in the middle of the school, and then he'd go back, put the boat in and go out and look for the balloon. That's a cheating, I always said.
Good on you, Phil.
Very good, Phil. Phil, I like that. Thank you for that wisdom. You know who needs to hear that? Alex Carey. Okay. He's got a new boat. He's out at Carricalinga Holiday House, and he's trying to catch these whiting, as am I.
No, he needs to go to he needs to go to the Vic Park Social Club.
Oh, Rob, yeah, he's getting a few.
Rob has got a North Bank like you. I was with him on Sunday, mate. Have you been to the Vic Park Social Club?
No.
Oh, God, that's a great
fantastic.
restaurant.
He's a good man, Rob. Where is it?
He said to me, Rowey, all you have to do is ring me, and he puts down, I don't reckon say that on air. Anyway, go to Lady Bay, the incoming tide. He's a local for years.
Yes.
And never misses.
I'm so proud of you. You just had a little moment there where you
had a bit of a...
Look at the growth.
Maturing. The growth. Thank you.
You are growing up in front of my eyes on this Tuesday program.
I nearly sunk Phil.
22 after 6. We're going to chat more fishing with Ned Henry after the break.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in FIVEAA's Best of SA.
If you're building or want to update your window furnishings, you'll love Rundle Blinds and Curtains. Visit the state-of-the-art Rundle Blinds showroom on Goodwood Road and experience award-winning service and an incredible range of blinds, curtains and shutters. Drop into the showroom or visit their website rundleblinds.com.au.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Today I'm talking to Tracy, who is one of Arbor Vitae's many happy customers. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, Lee.
When did you start taking Arbor Vitae and what for?
I'm a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years, which is a common issue for my fellow bakers. They know how debilitating it is. A friend suggested I tried Arbor Vitae, and I can't believe how well it's worked for me.
What benefits have you noticed from Arbor Vitae?
It was after my second bottle that I noticed the difference. My pain has all but disappeared. It's like a magic potion. I'm able to work with no pain. No stretch of the truth. It's worked so well for me.
It's wonderful to hear how much of a positive impact it has had on your life. Thank you for your time, Tracy. Arbor Vitae is an easy-to-take daily supplement that may help manage some of the most common health disorders caused by inflammation. Arbor Vitae health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. Visit arborvitae.com.au. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
You know what's become a huge deal at Mawson Lakes Mazda? Our end of financial year deals. Want to know a secret? We can give you amazing prices right now. This Thursday till Saturday, Mawson Lakes Mazda is clearing new and demo stock at prices you'll normally get in June, and they're available for immediate delivery. Don't wait, get in early. Thursday till Saturday for the huge new and demo stock clearance. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
When I grow up, I want to build houses.
At age 8, Leah has one dream: to build a house for her family. But that dream is slipping out of reach. Leah tries so hard at school, but poverty is holding her back. Without the things she needs for school, Leah is falling behind. Will you give Leah the support she needs to catch up, realise her dream, and build a better tomorrow? Search the Smith family and donate today.
Life's a journey. Sure, as you get older you might slow down a little, but each step can bring you more of what you want. At ECH, we support you wherever you are and wherever you want to go. Whether you want more opportunities to make friends, more assistance around your home, help with your health, or the perfect home to downsize to. Get more out of life. Ask ECH about home care packages and retirement living today.
Get into Straco Jeps Cross and St Mary's now for great deals on a huge range of products in our end of financial year sale. Right now until the end of June, get a massive 20% off DIY Straco gable garages. Our gable garages are engineered and manufactured here in South Australia with a 25-year warranty. With a range of ColourBond colours to choose from, our gable garages are perfect for all your outdoor storage needs. So come in and visit Adelaide's largest indoor garage and patio display centres at Straco Jeps Cross and St Mary's.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 26 after 6. Ned McHenry's in the studio with us live. Very shortly, the 5AA Fishing Show.
I did like this unique home-style food text as we close in on the TJM Fishing Show with Ned McHenry.
Yes.
I love that Tim is very philosophical tonight. He's channeling both Phil Jackson and Mick Malthouse. The earth is slow, but the ox is patient. I love that. It's actually a good read, that book.
It is, yeah.
I've read that one.
Classic.
Thank you for the marks you've given me for Emu Bay of Kangaroo Island.
You've got a big weekend coming up.
Some 47 of them. I want you to narrow them down to 6. I'm staying with Cadge Amadio.
So
I love Cadge. Can't wait, Cadge and Jen.
Do you take your boat or his?
Oh, we'll go out in his.
Yeah,
we'll
good decision.
Get his big shark.
So where are you going? Emu Bay.
Emu Bay.
Sensational.
Yeah. Saturday morning on the ferry, drive to Emu Bay.
Yep.
Join us, play canasta.
Yeah, what the hell's canasta?
Don't know, but Ken said we're playing canasta.
I remember playing it as a kid. I can't remember
I
how
love
to play
Kedge.
it.
You
now,
keep
but I
offering
played it as a
to
kid.
play canasta and you don't know what it is. Is it a board game? Is it a card game?
It's cards.
You don't know what gout is. You don't know what anything is. You're throwing out things without any kind of backing.
I know how to catch big whiting out of Emu Bay. And Kedge would have some good marks.
Hey, boys, what about the Bloodworm run? Is that on this weekend?
Don't think
sure
it is.
Darren.
It happens twice a year.
Yeah, 3 days after
It's
the new
full
moon. Yeah,
Yeah.
3 days.
New moon?
3 days after the new moon, I believe. Yeah.
What is Bloodworm? What's that all about?
Oh, it's this crazy phenomenon when all the red bloodworms all run, Timmy, and it's just crazy. The whiting will just fill up on them. They all come out of
They come up to the top,
So
so
only
you can net
twice a
them.
year.
Yeah, you can net them, and they're great whiting.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the next new moon is June 6th, so that's in 2 days.
Okay, 2
Yes.
days. Or 3 days post
So
that,
then 3 days after that. Yeah,
Oh, well, there you go. Okay,
well, yeah, this weekend.
And then they die and they sink to the bottom, and the whiting fill their boots up. They are as fat as a pair of.
All right. Yeah, gotcha.
And yeah, you can't catch a whiting for the next probably 2 weeks
Because they're on the bottom.
They're as full as a pair of
Oh, just rolling around.
ladies' undies.
in the octopus's garden down the bottom.
What they're doing, Captain Philosophical.
Yeah.
Now, did I hear in the break? I don't know whether I meant to say this again on air, a bit like the old.
Well, it never usually stops you, so go for it.
put
Well, let's
somebody
go
in
for it.
jail.
Are there barrels out of Marion?
Yeah, you were supposed to keep that quiet. All right, well, our audience can find out, Timmy. The rumours are out. There are barrels being caught off the Althorpe Islands out there at Marion Bay.
Which is 100 kilo plus.
100 kilo tuna, and they might be a good stretch of fish there. So, looking forward to seeing how that plays out, Timmy. I
Are
might
you
just
going to
be
give that a smash?
might just be sneaking out on the weekend. I think.
Is it between Althorpes and KI?
Yes, well, there's fish spread out, so I haven't been there yet. I have had rumours around different things. I believe there's fish around the Althorpe, so in that similar area where they've been popping up. These are 100 kilo plus tuna, Timmy. So pretty cool.
One day I'll do that with you, Nettie.
No, we will be doing that.
Steaks there,
Now,
isn't there?
On the weekend when you're just levitating, going like this, just
meditating,
going, yeah.
He's right, I levitate.
Yeah, he's levitating out while meditating.
He got a little bit lefty on
You
this thing,
got
didn't
really weird and tree huggy. It's what I said about Jordan Dawson.
It's
philosophical.
No. That's true. Sorry. And I will be out there burning fuel in my boat, mate, shooting out to the coast, chasing these 100 kilo tuna. And if I find one, I'll be putting a gaff straight through one. Let me tell you
Nettie,
that right
I
now.
love you.
I love
you better
you
be
too.
in this week, otherwise, if Tim comes in and does the show tomorrow in bare feet,
Oh, yeah.
I'm out.
And a white caftan.
Sports Show is back tomorrow from 4. Next, we're talking fishing.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Tell you what a good industry to be in. Bill Shorten's speechwriter. The Government Services Minister's own personal speechwriter cost the taxpayers $620,000 over 2 years. Apparently there's been whole months have gone by where this speechwriter